Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
I'd like to thank you. The Bendigo Bank supplied a defib machine. I died playing golf. The defib machine saved my life. So thank you.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
Time now for the University of Southern Queensland QBL Live Stream Series with the Clive Berghofer Toowoomba Mountaineers in action at the Cave. To call the game, please welcome the semi-pros.
Good evening and welcome out to the USQ Clive Berghofer Centre. We're just about ready for women's tip-off, but tonight joined by semi-pros panellist Troy Gursky and on debut, Joel Stour. How are you today, mate?
Good, mate. Happy to be here.
You're a lot fresher than what we saw this morning.
Certainly am, mate. Had a bit of a rubby-dub-dub and freshened up.
Great to have you on board to see Demi Skinner open the count. We've got the battle of the bottom of the ladder tonight here. So Mountaineers and the Brisbane Capitals coming to town, both only with the one win for the season. So what is anticipated to be a pretty hotly contested matchup. I know both teams will be fairly eager to get a win on the board tonight. So I think we're in for a pretty entertaining game.
They'll be eager, all right, mate. Both teams will be eager to get a win tonight. And hopefully we see a bit of free-flowing basketball here tonight. And good start by the Toowoomba girls with Demi. Get one early.
Nice and fast.
Stammy pings away from 3. Yeah, that's been the key. And Toowoomba last week, it was nearly a disastrous fourth quarter, which led to that 15-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and they've ended up squandering that, finishing with a 6-point loss. So it'll be interesting to see if they can erase the disappointment of last week and really go on with the job tonight and put a Capitals team away, which is every possibility to come out and get a win tonight.
Yeah, I guess they're going to have to just get away from them demons from last week, I suppose. Come out and play some aggressive ball from the outset.
Nice finish.
Yeah, nice from Anita. Nice and aggressive. So, yeah, hopefully they can play some aggressive ball and get out to a bit of a lead here in the first half. They've been slow starters in the first quarter of the last few games.
Yeah, we saw them excel last week, really being aggressive, pushing the ball up, using their speed. You've got the likes of Christina King at side, who's very versatile up and down the court as well. So use their advantage. They went away from it in the fourth, so they've really just got to find what works, find their advantages that they got against this Capitals team, and really milk them for all they're worth. As we see a couple of former Toowoomba juniors, former Toowoomba imports in the Capitals lineup, with Stacey Howard at the line shooting free throws at the moment, and the return of the import from a couple of seasons ago, Frances Donders, as well. So she's been in the Capitals lineup this year, and one of their, I suppose, more senior players, and being able to average probably the highest points, I think, there for the Capitals for the season. So the Capitals no doubt will be looking to go to her for their leadership and gets her experience to get them some momentum, especially early into this game.
Yeah, and obviously Frances coming home will want to stamp her authority on this game. So obviously for the Toowoomba folks, we don't want to see that, do we? But yeah, some nice aggressive ball again.
King with the putback there. So we do see the I suppose the starting five we have seen all season for the Mountaineers, with Anita Brown, Christina King, Demi Skinner, the big three, which we do talk about, joined by Tracy Twydale and Hannah Lenarn as well. So the key is, I suppose, as we speak about, it's each week, as Lenarn's in early foul trouble too. This is a formidable story that we've seen for her. 2 fouls in the first 2.5 minutes, so she's going to go to the bench, and Crystal Watson gets in early. But for the Capitals, we see them starting with Frances Donders, Georgia Fagan, Isabel Parker, Shanavia Dowdle, and Stacey Howard. So early on,
nice.
We see
quick feet, very quick feet.
And one.
Toowoomba going to that size advantage. So Christina King does have that couple inches advantage inside, but yeah, she's a very tough cover for a lot of ladies in this competition, being able to make those quick moves. She loves that spin, especially. Puts the old tumble dry on, throws it in the dryer and spins around, and looks good when she's aggressive and tries to finish at the hoop instead of fading away and looking at those sort of floating hook shots too. So
you're exactly right. She looked her best the last few weeks when she took it right to the rack instead of settling for a little hook or a jumper.
Good steal.
Great steal.
And the finish.
This is what you want to see. Christina aggressive in the first quarter. Good signs for Toowoomba.
Opened up an early 6-point lead for the home team, 10-4, 3 minutes played in the first quarter. As Dowdle kicks out wing to Fagan. Nice 3. Corner 2, toe on the line there. So Cardinal sin for a 3-point shooter. Put the toe on the line, the long twos. Just good defense from
Real
Donders.
good defense from
Out in
Donders.
the lane. Throws the fake, just
couldn't get the putback there.
Did the hard work, didn't capitalise with the bucket at the end of the day. Skinner goes hard to the basket. Overcooked that one. Fagan, very young team. You did mention in the warm-ups there while we were waiting to come on air that this Capitals is a A lot of youth in their lineup, so obviously a year where they're looking to get some experience into their juniors that have come through their programs.
If you have a look, mate, there's two 16-year-olds, a 17-year-old in the lineup. Other than that, there's a few that are 20, early 20s with a couple of girls around the 30 years of age. So they've got a lot of young players, and obviously trying to develop those guys. It's a good pass from Francis there. Just can't finish it.
They can just intimidate it out of the basket under the rim there. Anita Brown takes a bump, no call coming from local referee tonight, Catherine O'Brien.
Steve, the Brisbane Capitals, are they usually thereabouts in the women's comp?
Yeah. They could be. No, I think they have had a few seasons there where they have been bringing sort of these younger players through, the younger generation through. So in the men, they've been particularly strong over the last 3 to 4 seasons. And we're seeing that this year too, being undefeated, top of the ladder, to come later on in the night. So if you are venturing around Toowoomba, a couple of big names heading as part of that men's team. Jason Cadet, who's having an absolute career season, carving up this competition, just sort of being able to get what he wants. And teamed up with it's a very exciting brand of basketball. So if you are out and about around the Toowoomba scene, pop out to the USQ Clive Berghofer Stadium, because I'm sure it'll be an exciting brand of basketball which the Capitals do bring to the town this evening. So that one comes off the knee.
Just early, mate. You can see that the couple of the girls have had some looks here. Like Crystal just had an open look for a 3. Really got to jack them up tonight. I think you've got to get the other girls on the board and be scoring options earlier in the piece.
Yeah, it was the case last week, and we saw coming into the fourth quarter by girls not shooting their shots early on in the game. It gave the
Nice shot.
Gave the opposition, they just didn't have to commit to them, or they knew that they weren't a threat in the offense. They weren't going to shoot that. They didn't shoot it in the first quarter, so they're not going to take a shot when the game's on the line coming in the fourth. Christina King. Gets the finish to take her personal tally to 6 points early on in the first quarter of this game.
Deep three there.
Yeah, the Capitals girls are on from outside early tonight.
Dowdle, so she's been the dominant force for the Capitals this season, averaging 19.3 coming into tonight's matchup. And obviously not afraid to stretch the defence there and step out to the perimeter as well. So it's going to be a cover that Christina King's going to have to follow her right out, opening up some spacing inside for the Capitals to be able to drive, penetrate, get to work in the post. But a big thank you too to our sponsors tonight. We've got Northbuild, who had a massive night last night, our local Downs and Western Master Builders. They picked up a couple of the awards through the commercial sector there, so congratulations to Northbuild and thank you for your support, and also to Bendigo Bank, who's on as a live stream sponsor. So another great local companies that support this Mountaineers program, make it possible to bring you these coverage.
Both companies sponsor a lot around the sector, and it's good to see him involved again. It's Francis with the 2.
Gets Brown. She's done that a couple times now.
That might be her second too, is it?
Been played a lot of basketball right around the world, Francis Donders, through her juniors, and then obviously over here in Australia using her nous to get Brown up in the air, draw the foul and be good enough to get that one to go, and gets the bonus. So pretty quick turnaround we've had from the Capitals here. They've gone from a 6-point early on 10-4 deficit down to a 17-12 lead. So Mountaineers looking for a steadier.
It's a good matchup, that one, Donders and Brown.
It is both very experienced. I suppose Donda's got a few more years in the professional circuit under her belt, but Brown's shown she can compete one-on-one versus pretty much anyone in this competition.
Again, the B,
Out to Fagan. She's been good.
On fire.
Didn't look like missing that one either. Her second three of the game.
Again,
Yeah, she's loving on the right-hand wing there at the moment.
Watson, Brown,
Oh, and the bucket.
look out.
Nita Brown takes the contact.
4 points to Brown, 1 to come.
Finished well from there last week, didn't she? That mid-range jumper. Quick, always quick on the pull-up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just starting to find her feet here at the moment. Fairly high-scoring first quarter here to start off.
See one of the youngsters, Audrey Fuller, check in for Georgia Fagan, getting her first minutes of the night. 2 to play in the first quarter.
Wayward pass from Donners.
Too much heat from the quarterback. Throwing that one into the end zone. See the 2-3 zone look here from the Capitals too. So this has been a defence which has slowed up the Mountaineers. They haven't been able to, I suppose, penetrate the zones when they have seen this in previous weeks, and we see another scrappy play. Good hands from Donders on the steal there from Brown. Bit of frustration. The swipe.
Well, it's a little falcon there.
Georgia Bolton getting some early minutes in as well.
in for 7 for Watson.
There's Despina Dickinson checks in too, Steve.
I'd like to see Georgia take that jumper too. She's had a couple of open looks there.
So Cabe Ciccolini is getting into his rotations earlier on in this game. Calling on the bench, an opportunity for some players that may not have seen large amounts of court time to prove their worth early in this one. As a wayward pass. Good hustle.
Well done.
Keep it in as the clock winds down, 4 to go. Brown's going to have to get this one up. It's a tough,
Brilliant
great
shot.
finish with the left hand too. Straight at the body of Dowdell.
1 to come.
Happy to take the contact, and a nice finish with the non-preferred left hand.
It's good.
Gets the free throw to add the extras.
10 points, Benita.
All of a sudden, we're back to 1 point game now.
Yeah, we have seen some seesawing contests with the girls the last few weeks.
Brown.
Can change very quickly. Chance to finish the quarter here with
Dickinson,
late.
Bolton, inside the King, Brown.
Yes.
Bit too much aggression from Raquel Spees. Short on the first, Brown. No good on the second there, so can't capitalise on that occasion. So yes, if you are joining us on the live stream out there tonight, sure to comments in the box. We'd love to get your thoughts on what's happening on the game. You're watching in the comfort of your living room or by the fire. Oh. A little bit of a kick, the clock winding down. Dickinson's going to have the last go.
She's got a good look there too.
You sit.
Seesawing affair.
Not a bad first quarter, actually.
First quarter, fairly high scoring as well. Capitals will go in with a 20 to 19. I suppose the first quarter is pretty reflective of what we've seen from both of these teams throughout the season.
As I said, I think we can see a close game tonight, obviously. Similar on the ladder. And yeah, from what we've seen, both teams very equal at the moment.
Yeah, looking to push the ball down the court. Christina King's been a focus of the Mountaineers early on, getting it inside that height advantage there. She leads all scorers with 8 points for the Mountaineers, backed up by Anita Brown. Demi Skinner's got the 4. So there it is, the big 3 once again doing the heavy lifting for the Mountaineers in scoring all 19 points of the game for the Mountaineers. And for the Capitals, Fagan's been good. A couple of long threes from out on the bench side wing there early on too. So what was your take on this first quarter?
Even, very even.
Obviously by the score. So
exactly, mate. You know,
bold statement.
Both teams do look very, very even.
Yep.
Both their all their imports are having a big say. Obviously, the Toowoomba girls have scored all 19 points. But you know, it's probably going to, in the end, it might come down to both benches and backup players to see what contributions they can make.
Yeah, once again, Mountaineers did seem to struggle when Capitals went back into that zone defence. So it's been a story of what's happened this season that has been able to slow the pick and roll, the option Anita Brown, Christina King, Demi Skinner. It has slowed their scoring down when they have had that zone thrown against them. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get some off the ball movement, maybe swing a baseline shooter, get Skinner some open looks from threes, because she can get going, she can get hot, she can score points quickly. So that might be a key if the Capitals are going to stay within this zone look. Stonders, nice.
Good dish.
Inside.
Yeah.
Drops it down.
Just we see Georgia Bolton getting the first minutes for the Mountaineers.
Apart from the court time she was on in the first quarter, this is the first minutes. That's correct. Good observation. There's Skinner, has an opportunity, and there she goes. Pulls the trigger and a long bomb and hits bullseye.
Nice from Howard.
With
very aggressive to do.
Lovely finish there.
A good start to the game as well.
Brown gets the open look. Long 2 there.
2 foot on the line now.
7-point Brown.
As the Mountaineers look to extend some token pressure up the court. Still in the man, but just stretching it out, trying to absorb a couple of seconds in the back court. Howard can't get a tough shot to go inside on the aggressive move. Brown wide open. The sea's just parted there. She kicks it out. Skinner again.
Oh, beautiful.
Bang, bang.
2 in the second quarter here.
Aggressive start from Demi again, same as last week.
It's good D from Georgia Bolton up the court. Just even that token pressure. Now you see forces to, but just having that token pressure up the backcourt.
Could have been the chance for the dunk. Yeah, we haven't seen yet.
Could have been.
Time out.
Yeah. Not liking what he sees there, coach for the Capitals, but yeah, taking that 2, 3, 4 seconds in the backcourt just sort of gets them in a rush out of their offense. Doesn't let them come up and get into their set. So that's a great little injection of energy there from Bolton. I'm sure Cabe will be pleased to see that from his youngsters, making the most of their minutes on the court. See the Mountaineers cheerleaders on court trying to...
Still on a bit of Joel's dancing last night.
Tell you what,
2 shaves getting cut on the D floor, wasn't there?
It's very, very similar here. So great start to the second quarter for the Mountaineers. They've put on 10 points in the first minute. 40.
I know what it is.
6.
Every game, second quarter, they come out very aggressive. Very aggressive.
And they've looked...
Same again.
They've looked better all season when they have been aggressive. But King's been good.
Yeah.
Skinner's been good as well. Again, the harp on the big 3. I'd love to see him as well, the other 2 on the court, be a lot more aggressive and take their shots, shoot their opportunities. If they don't go, they don't go. But you've got to be a threat out there. So
especially early. Even if they're putting up 2 or 3 shots early in the game, it's going to, as you said before, it's going to extend their defense and it's going to help with the back end of the game.
That's the big thing, isn't it? Just giving those big 3 a bit of extra help. That's their, main purpose in this position.
It is, and having the others being a threat on there makes sure that the defense can't cheat. They can't run a double to that on ball, or they can't just follow those shooters out. They have to play everyone on their merits. So good defense here from Dickerson as well.
Yeah, I like the option of Dickerson on Donders. Bit of extra pressure on the ball carrier.
Now she goes.
Dickerson, King, Bolton,
Skinner.
Good look.
Yeah, she's feeling good. It's at 8 for the quarter for Demi.
Heating up now, total to 12 her personal tally here as the lead is stretched to 7 for the home team. A double dribble on Fagan.
Number 20, ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Willie.
I like the option of Dickerson on Donners as well, because it frees Anita up a little bit more. You know, she hasn't got the defensive job, and you know
she can pick that extra one up in the middle.
She can direct things. Yeah.
Good rebound.
Bolton.
Oh,
and again.
Yeah. Bolton and Brown. Dickerson.
It's good ball movement from the Mountaineers.
Skinner gets in the air.
And the board. Beautiful.
13 points from and rebound.
Great start here to this quarter. The girls taking the lead out to 9 points.
Air ball.
Bit of air. Fresh air. A couple of moans from the crowd. Air ball.
Boys over there in the stands. Haven't heard that one for a while. Hello, boys.
Here, maybe in the background, the voice of the Mountaineers, Mr. John Goulson.
Jackie Moon Gilson. Still haven't seen him wrestle a bit.
In and out. Howard.
Capitals looking to get something going on the offensive end here. Go to Dowdle.
She's had a fairly quiet start, Dowdle. She's knocked down a few shots, but probably put the 2 or 3 up at the moment.
Skinner. King. Dickerson. Brown. Skinner. Same by Dickerson.
Shot clock winding down. Brown's going to have to go. Tough fade away.
Oh, yes.
Great rebound from Christina.
Great rebounding. King it is.
Howard looking for the steal.
Dickerson. Great rebound, Brown. Good foul. And here come the Chiefs.
Donders checks back in.
Back in for the hard work. Let's give these two girls a big round of applause.
We're from Twydale. Checking back in.
Bolton and Skinner coming off.
And Lennon back in as well after those 2 early fouls.
Good stint there from Bolton.
Twydale, King.
Bringing that aggression in the court now to be up to Twydale to continue that as King runs that one in the tumble dryer.
There's just no one that can really match it with Christina down low, is there?
Yes, 2 shots to King. Here we go. Substitute. Number 11, ladies and gentlemen. Bees back in. Where's the choir? Hands up, everybody!
Steve King.
Come on, let's get
everything first.
Hands up!
Missed everything.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been. I was just turned away. And I saw the ball.
Net movement, but I didn't know what it was.
Someone close the
wind.
Someone go over there and close the louvers, could you? But anyway, the Mountaineers have got a 7-point lead, 33-26 lead. The visiting Brisbane Capitals. Donders steps through.
Great defence, Brown.
Brown on the rotation.
Dickerson.
Dickerson.
The shot we want to see her take.
It's exactly what we were talking about there before, wasn't it?
Well, Christina's, she's attracted to double team, dished out and got to take those looks.
Donna stood back from her, so she did pump him up.
Exactly. The Capitals just there. They were trying to send a double to King in there because King has been dominant inside. She was good enough to find the open shooter, and Dickerson was equal to the task and be able to nail that jumper from the top of the key. So great quarter from the Mountaineers. They currently lead this quarter 16-6, so a good turnaround. Apart from that couple of minutes we saw in the first quarter where they let the Capitals not only back into the game but sort of open up a sizable lead. It's been good from the Mountaineers, like what we've seen, and it all comes down to being aggressive and pushing the issue up the court, trying to make sure these young Capitals team can match them.
They've been aggressive on the defensive end as well, which is turning into those breaks that we're getting, those quick looks down the floor. So yeah, we want to see them.
That good transition from defence to offence there.
Really push these next 4 minutes.
It was good to see the Mountaineers really scoop ahead too while Donders had a set.
Exactly, and I suppose one of the telling stats here looking is Dickerson. She come in, played her 6 minutes, only the one basket, but she's plus 13. She's been that sort of, I suppose, that live wire, that injection of energy that the Mountaineers are looking for, and she's able to sort of carry the team with her as well. So we saw Bolton come on as well with that, so that really set the standard for what the Mountaineers wanted to do on the defensive end, and they've been able to carry that on and flow that on the offensive end as well. So good quarter. I know Cabe would be reminding them of last week and not to take the foot off the gas. They've really got to try and stretch this out as far and wide as they can get it going into this half-time break. Capitals Dowell's got a nice little baseline jump shot. She gets that to go, so she's starting to put a nice little tally together. Gets her up to 9 points.
Her percentages will be all right too.
That is 4 from 6 from the field there, so that's nothing to be sneezed at.
It's a quick step from Christina again. Getting a look at the hoop. Hopefully she can convert at the line this time. No.
Keep the hands up. Come on. Sweet. You did it. 11 points to King. Here we go. Back in.
Georgia Fagan checks in.
3 minutes here.
And
You've got an 8-point lead now. It'd be nice to go with maybe a double-figure lead going into half-time. So, yeah, very important last 3.4 on the clock here.
Some good numbers being put up by the Mountaineers from the field. I suppose the one thorn in their side has been their free throw shooting. Only a dismal 3 from 9. From the stripes, Fagan.
She's red hot from the line there.
Nails her.
On the left side wing either.
sorry.
Is that 3 threes for her now?
It is 3 for 5 for Fagan from the land of plenty.
Too fast. Just too quick.
Young girl, go to the basket. Big drive, Christina King.
Interesting to see who that call was on.
That wasn't Dowdell.
It wasn't Dowdell. That would have been her third and put her...
No, that wasn't Dowdell.
No.
Donders, I think.
Dowdell playing with 2, so she'll be looking to definitely finish the half without adding to that tally.
Yes, she did it.
Yes, she did it on
That's
the first.
correct, Johnny G. Yes, she did.
Doesn't miss much.
King.
Not
Couldn't convert the second.
Donders. Parker Hagen gets it out to start.
Howard's back in the court now, so Donders. Good ball movement here from the Capitals in this offensive set. That's a tough
Beautiful shot,
jump
Parker.
there. Nice finish from Isabel Parker there.
Yeah, they've lead back to 4 here.
It's a good set from the Capitals. They've got plenty of movement in their offensive and got a good look. And a good finish from Parker as Brown tries a turnaround J.
Howard.
Margins closed to 4. Should have been 2 there.
rebound,
Now
Howard.
it's 2. The offensive rebound from
7 points to Howard.
Stacey Howard, and Coach Ciccolini has seen enough, wants to talk it over with the troops, so he summons them in. As we see the Capitals close that in, so she said it was a pivotal 3 minutes to play, or 3.5 minutes there was left at that time when they had an 8-point lead. Now being closed to 2, so basketball is a game of runs, and Capitals have been equal to the task when they've got behind the 8 ball. They're able to get a couple of good offensive sets, get a couple of scores, and get themselves right back in this game.
What do you think was the key there to get them back into that?
I think they ran their offense. They know what's worked for them. They got it into Dowell. Dowell got a couple of nice baseline shots there, but they've got plenty of movement through their offensive.
So probably the speed of it
they're
too.
trusting what they've worked on all season. They've been able to. They know if they, I suppose, stick to their processes, they're going to get
good
what they want
looks,
to
didn't
do.
they?
And knocked them down too. So, and that's always going to happen. There's always going to be ebbs and flows in a game of basketball. So, the key is that when you're digging a hole, you do get down those few points, is to stick with what you do, and credit to the Capitals. They've been able to do that here in the second stanza to close it back to a 2-point game. Interesting to note the foul count 4 plays 0 against the Capitals here, so Mountaineers either doing a good job on the defensive end, or Capitals just may not have been quite as aggressive as they needed to be to draw the contact. So we can go flying away there.
In and out from Dickinson.
Yeah, it was in and out. Wasn't it? Good shot,
It was a good look. Yeah. Good outlet pass from Donders.
Rebound round. Dickinson. Brown.
Brown misses from long range, but will stay with the Mountaineers ball. Minute 44 to play out here at the USQ Live Berghofer Stadium. Berghofer. He's actually
Stadium.
a new sponsor, Berghofer.
Oh, Buggy.
Skinner.
Donda's playing some good D here on Brown. The switch.
Good screen.
Dickinson.
Back into that zone.
Yeah, good
Double
double.
team.
Yeah, running out of time here.
Gets the shot off.
Good contest from
That's
Howard.
great
and Fagan.
defense
And
from
the
the Capitals.
fast break.
Fagan shots kick out to the 3, I think.
She
There
goes.
she is.
She gets the ball bank.
She's banked it in. No call, but
Breaks
she's
my
banked it in.
bank.
Tell you what, it's not pretty, but they don't draw pictures on the score sheet. They'll take them all together with their
The lead
fourth
too.
three
Puts
of
the Capitals
game.
up by 1. Minute to go in the second quarter.
King. Rotation from Howard. Tough shot. Didn't bucket.
That's
Dish
nice
down.
pass from Dondas. Great vision.
Capitals, bit of their own medicine straight back at them. The Mountaineers pushing the ball up the court, trying to get that transition basket, and they're getting some. Oh well, they've dominated this last 3-minute period of the second quarter. Just going to bangs away in there.
Steve, we spoke about Donders being a big part of this Capitals team, and as you said, this last 3 minutes, she's really put it to the hand of the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and not so much just through her shooting. She's been able to get into the keyway and kick it out, and more so as being a facilitator for the team and getting those to the
And
other
on
girls
defense too,
involved
isn't
with the
it?
game. Skinner tickles the twine on the first. Misses the second, so the free throw woes continue for the Mountaineers at a 41% clip.
Again. King gets the boards.
I'm scared to jack him up, old Fagan, is she?
13 seconds. Mountaineers have got the last look.
Foul call. Bonus shot.
Off to the charity stripe.
Yes. No, she's not scared to get him up, but you.
It's a good thing.
You do miss 100% of the shots you don't take, mate. So
Correct.
if in doubt, air it out.
And as you said, it extends the defence. As soon as she even looks like getting the ball, it's to rush. You got one or two flooding out.
Brown will have the opportunity to level us up. 7 to go. Capitals will get the last opportunity of the quarter.
Great intercept. Was that Steve? I couldn't see that.
Georgia Bolton on the court again, up in the lanes. Getting the deflection. Still 4 to play for the Capitals. They've got a last clock running down play from the sideline. They get it in. Howard's going to find an easy look under the bucket. Won't be happy with that.
There will be shots.
Coach Ciccolini struts down the court in despair. Would have liked to probably see a bit better effort there from the girls in defence with 4 to play as Howard
knocks down the first.
Makes one.
Old crush from your school days, Joel Stour.
Bit old for me, mate. More of your era, I think.
Rebound is Skinner. Ladies and gentlemen, that is half.
That sees us complete the first half out here of the matchup between the Toowoomba Mountaineers and the Brisbane Capitals, and the Capitals have been able to fight back from probably an 8-point deficit to take a lead into the long break, lead the home team Mountaineers 41 to 40. So pretty even first quarter, a game of runs. The Mountaineers able to put a little break on. The Capitals will pull that back. Capitals get a lead. Vice versa, the Mountaineers pull that back. I suppose that's what we expected from the outset, and that's what we got.
It's kind of depicts the Mountaineers season so far in that quarter, where we got out to a nearly double-figure league, I think it was, and then to be down by 4 or 5 at one stage. So yeah, it's just a matter of runs, and as we said in the previous weeks, it's about the girls identifying when those big moments, those runs are on, and coming back.
Coach Ciccolini, will he be happy with that?
I wouldn't say be happy. I'd say be satisfied where they are. Again, we speak about every week. Give themselves an opportunity to be in the game when the whips are cracking, when it comes time to win. And then the next step is to get over the line and get a few wins there as well. So as we see the man with the hair has entered the stadium. So it's great to see Coach Danny Breen in looking dapper as always. And we'll have a look at the stats though. So the tale of the whole season we see for the Mountaineers, the big three, Brown, King, Skinner, 13, 12, 13. We've only had 2 additional points outside of that big three, so that was the long 2 there from Dickerson. Really, I think that's the tale of the season. It's the tale of how this game's gone. They really want somebody to put their hand up, be able to assist those girls in the scoring column.
We need, as I said before, we need some more input. Like even from Twydale, who's good from beyond the arc. You see Despina's, she's put a few shots up in that first half. But the likes of Bolton, I think Bolton's got a few chances there to take a few open looks. So even if it's a handful of points, if it's an extra, in the second half, we get 10 points out of our other role players and bench. I think it'll hold instead to winning this game.
So for the visiting Capitals, their guard Georgia Fagan has led the way. A couple of long threes there, 4 threes for her. Total points tally of 14 points. She's been assisted well by Shania Dowdell. A couple of baseline buckets for herself. And I think Donda's has been good without scoring the ball or being dominant on the score sheet. She's been able to facilitate their offense, attack the basket, kick it out, and get good looks for their team. So a pretty well-rounded performance by them. But it'll just come down to, I suppose, who wants it more. You've got to be hungry. Both teams languishing on the bottom of the ladder on the 1 win, 13 losses. So it's going to come down to hunger.
Yeah.
And obviously the reason, the likes of Fagan got those looks was because of Dondas and the way that she controlled the half court to get those open looks. I think she did a great job. It's a good matchup, that, her and Anita Brown, and I think it'll probably go a long way. Whoever wins that battle will probably go a long way to win the game, I think.
What we spoke about earlier was the switch there in the defence from Dickinson to mark up on Dondas. Do you think they look to do a bit more of that in the second half?
I definitely think they'll be looking to get that inspiration from one Dickinson to Georgia Bolton, who come on and injected that energy on, particularly the defensive end, and that was able to, I suppose that was the catalyst to be able to put those runs on, and vice versa. I think the telling factor is when the Capitals go back into that 2-3 zone, the offense of the Mountaineers the ball movement stops. They're not getting the same opportunities they are as having Brown being able to work with the ball, come off a high ball pick and be aggressive to the basket. They're able to shut that down, and the Mountaineers aren't able to adjust on that at the moment. So
you're right. Whenever it goes to that 2-3, it becomes a pull up from Anita, or it's an inside dish.
And we've seen a couple of occasions the shot clock winding down too, and they're having to force up a tough shot. So got a cracking game of 3-on-3 out here. The white versus blue Mountaineers under 12s. I think we heard over the loudspeaker there. So we might take a bit of a break and leave you with this entertaining game on centre court in the capable hands of John Gouldson, giving a bit of a play-by-play commentary on this one as well. So we'll take a break. We'll come back just before tip-off, or pass in. Don't do tip-offs anymore of the third quarter. Where we might try and get a couple of special guests on and have a bit of a chat about the men's game coming up at the completion of this women's one.
Down here, anything's possible. A first degree, a second career, a way to advance. As the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland, the University of Southern Queensland has helped over 100,000 students become more from more places, on their own terms, in their own time, with 24/7 access and over 100 online degrees. Become more from more places with USQ.
Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding.
That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
I'd like to thank you. The Bendigo Bank supplied a defib machine. I died playing golf. The defib machine saved my life. So thank you.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Serena Men's Shed. You are supporting us, and we keep a lot of men out of hospital. Thank you very much for your support.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
Now for the University of Southern Queensland QBL Live Stream Series with the Clive Berghofer Toowoomba Mountaineers in action at the Cave. To call the game, please welcome the semi-pros.
Welcome back out to the USQ Clive Berghofer Centre as we do have both teams on court getting limber for the second half. Here we have a 1-point game to the visitors. The Brisbane Capitals do lead 41-40. I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors for the game. So our game sponsor out here at the centre is North Build, terrific building company who's probably polishing up the awards from the Master Builders there last night. They picked up a couple of the awards in the commercial.
Certainly very vocal, weren't they?
Category, yeah. Somebody else who was very vocal last night was you, Joel Steele.
Happy man, happy to be there.
I see that. And also to Bendigo Bank for jumping on board, being our live stream sponsor tonight. Their support is welcomed and makes all this possible for us to come through. Thoughts on that first half, and then what needs to be done for the Mountaineers moving forward to try and get their second win of the season?
Yeah, I think that what we spoke about before the break there, that the Mountaineers really need to get these rotation players jacking up a few shots, giving it another outlet to these the big three, as we call them. And probably the intensity in the defence again. When they lifted that earlier in the second quarter, that's when they went on that little bit of a run. Sort of dropped off there in the back end of the second quarter.
Aggression. Yeah, exactly what Joel has said there. Aggression starting in the defensive end. And as we said before, once we've got that aggressive intent, we get a lot of turnovers and then pushing it down the floor. And, you're pushing stretch of the floor and you get the likes of Anita and Christina one-on-one with someone, and more often than not, it goes in our favour. So, yeah.
Exactly right. Anita Brown and Christina King, they're tough covers for anybody in this league, let alone, I suppose, a couple of the younger guards of the Capitals will have their hands full trying to contain them. So Brown's been really good for the Mountaineers. She does lead all scorers for the game with 13. Well backed up by Skinner too. So Skinner, she got rolling there in the second. Couple of threes, couple of pull-up jimmies from the long twos as well. So be encouraging for Cabe. Probably hasn't shot the ball particularly well this season overall, but having that glimmer of hope, putting a run on, I'm sure he'd love to see her get hot, which she can do, and just absolutely
I'd love to see the girls get inside and go at Dowdle as well. Obviously, we spoke about the foul trouble that she's looking to get in a bit earlier. If they can keep going to the line and keep drawing her in, I think she'll keep fouling all night.
We did check that out. So Dowdle does have the 2, so that's not too bad. But their other big, Stacey Howard's got 3 fouls there too. As well, that last quarter we saw went 5-1 the foul count there. So
I think that just showed that they were a lot more aggressive on the defensive end in that quarter. They pushed the envelope a little bit more. It's something that we're going to have to do at the start of this quarter, and I like the idea of we're coming out with Bolton and Dickinson at the start of this quarter. I think it's a great option.
Yeah, I think this shows the cards that Cabe is willing to play. He liked what he saw from the 2 youngsters injecting the energy as Bolton goes straight at the basket. Jams that one up, but a good aggressive move from Bolton early on. But they'd be out there for what they did in defence in that first half. They set the bar for the rest of the team to follow. As Dowdle picks up a long 3.
We've gone back to that Dickinson-Donders matchup in defence.
It's nice D from Christina down low there. Pick of the pocket there by Donders.
Still waiting for the opening score of the first quarter.
And the foul.
Nice. Aggressive from the crush there.
10 points to Howard to one to come.
Foul on Anita Brown. The second of the game. 2 shots to Howard. 1 shot, got the basket to go. My mistake. She's good enough to get that one to go. So 4-point lead. Following that move there from Howard. It's Brown looking to operate again, kicking around.
Walk there, yep.
Spent a pennies before she earned them there, Bolton, on that occasion. Parker Donders again, looking to be aggressive, get into the, getting foot in the key. Nice step through from Fagan, just wasn't able to make that one drop. It's good contest from Dickinson too to
Dickinson.
Parker to get up into the office. Donders, nice dish into Dowdle. Nice slashing cut from Parker, but
couldn't finish there.
Was entitled to do better on that occasion, I believe. She didn't.
Another steal.
Good hands from Donders on the defensive end there. Picked seeing the crossover coming from Brown was just a little well presented out in front the ball there, and Donners was able to take the opportunity to force the jump and take the possession arrow. Fagan from the wing, that was long.
Definitely Toowoomba ball. Hands up if you agree. Yes, they're all quiet people, but we love you.
So what's the story with Howard, ex-Toowoomba girl?
Yeah, ex-Toowoomba, played I think a lot of juniors down in Ipswich, played a few seasons down there with the Force. I think this might actually be a sort of a return from a couple of year exodus from the QBL, so that's good defence, move the feet. But come up through
college.
Yeah, played a stint over in the American college system. Played in the representative honours. The Queensland team's coming through juniors. Very talented sports family. Brother Brad had a stint with the St Kilda AFL team.
Yeah.
Aaron was an integral part of our Mountaineers team there for many seasons too. As Cabe cops a technical foul there for pleading his case, something you'd know, mate, about standing in front of the judge, pleading your case. That time the judge didn't want to hear about it.
Certainly do, mate, certainly do.
He didn't have a bar, did he?
No.
It wasn't much of a chat and asserting his authority straight up.
So the one bonus shot and possession stays with the Capitals. 4-point lead. The Mountaineers haven't been able to add to their quota here in the third quarter, so they've nearly had 3 and a bit minutes play. And they're off to the races. King's pushing hard in transition.
Beautiful.
Good find from Brown. King overdoes it. Got to make those go there, those freebies. Dowdled on the other end, so there's basically a 4-point turnaround on that missed opportunity from King into transition break. Brown foul on Francis Donders. I think might have got a piece of the limb there.
Nice from Skinner.
16 points.
I need a little bit more of that from Skinner.
See a few of the comments on the Facebook. The SBL men for the Toowoomba did have a win earlier on, and looks like Big Willie Mitchell's awarding himself the MVP of the game, saying it's pretty much come down to him doing some big boards. So pat yourself on the back, Willie. Good on you, mate. Pump up your own tyres, play your own trumpet. Good to see, mate.
Skinner, shots to come.
It's a foul on Demi. Skinner will see Parker go to the line for 2.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, on the old Facebook, I've popped a bit of a pasting, aren't I?
5 points.
Didn't realise there was a comment section on there.
It's Brown down into the short corner. Cops a bit of double team. Skinner from the top.
Again. Bang, bang from Skinner.
I think she just might have pulled the pistols out there too. She wanted to do a little bit of a post 3-ball celebration.
Oh, Wiggles, let's get ready to rumble, eh?
She just didn't quite unclip them, didn't quite pull out the revolvers or blow the smoke off them.
They might come right out next time.
Yeah. Tell you what, didn't they need that? 2 big buck.
Howard's heavy contact there from Brown. Bit of frustration looks here from Brown. Not overly happy there.
3rd foul for Brown too.
Oh, I think they might have. Christina King might have actually copped that one. Again, it's going to be her 3rd foul of the game. So with 15 minutes to play still.
Twidale's checking back in.
As Brown sits down and you can see visually frustrated as she goes to the bench. Howard to attempt 2, gets the first one down.
Jump shot, isn't it, from the...
Yeah, just a little bit of a...
With extra power.
Good leg push there.
Old heel kicker.
It's Bolton again, this zone. A lot of movement around the perimeter, but not too much sort of penetration. King.
Strong.
Beautiful. King. Straight in the body of Strong and Dowdle.
He's got the girls off the bench over there.
14 points.
You can just see this game going to the wire, can't you? Just ebbing and flowing all night. No one can get the upper hand here at the moment.
Here. Hannah Lennon check back in.
Get those hands out of the pockets, folks.
So limited minutes for Lennon because of that early foul trouble in the first half. This is only played the 3.5 after starting the game for the Mountaineers. Donders, good veteran move, sees the Mountaineers in team foul, so that'll be a bonus 2, goes to the body of Bolton, draws a foul.
Team fouls.
Bread and butter. This for Donders. She's a 81% shooter from the line, but not on this occasion. The best she can hope for is 50 on this visit.
With the second.
Converts with that one. 2-point ball game. Halfway through the third quarter.
Nothing but
there. No. Good rebound from Twydale.
Clock working down. Lennon.
Good finish.
Little hook there for two.
Looky, here's a hooky. Tied ball game. 4 minutes to play. The third quarter out here at the USQ Clive Berghofer Stadium. The crowd starting to get behind their local team as well. So a good little...
bit of a crowd rolling in too.
Starting to roll in, yep. So if you're out and about looking for a good night entertainment, get out there and support the what's left of the women and also the men's game, which we do have coming up at the conclusion of this game. But much of what we've seen right throughout this ebbs and flows. One team can get the dominance, but they just can't get that extra break to really put the opposite team to the sword.
Yeah, mate, that's going to be the thing, isn't it? It's going to go to the wire. It's going down to it's going to go late in the fourth, and it's going to be whose big guns can come
one
up
starts to edge away though, the other one just sort of creeps back into it. It's one of those topsy-turvy type games, isn't it?
Yeah, they're stuck in the arm wrestle. So did note that Brown did look a little bit frustrated there in the third quarter. So be looking to her, I suppose, to just try and settle down and get into a rhythm. Because if she can do that, that's going to help the whole team, not just herself get involved with the game, but help everybody get involved as she's able to basically control the offense of the Mountaineers. Again, for the Capitals, Donders, without dominating on the score sheet, she's been, I suppose, an integral cog in the wheel to get the Capitals what they're looking for, some good looks. Howard started to raise her aggression in going to the basket. Also in defence, we saw a good play, pull a offensive foul. There we go.
It's a good start for Toowoomba.
Great defence from Toowoomba to force a 24-second violation.
See Audrey Fuller getting her first minutes of the game, the 16-year-old for the Capitals. Good. Christina, strong at the hoop.
Too big, too strong, too fast.
Audrey bring the ball up now. 16 looks about 12, I think.
Certainly holding her own.
Screen.
Left ball bobbles around there, and Donders swoops on the scraps. Parker, good D from King. 3 on the clock is going to have to go up from Donders. I don't think she's aware.
Yeah, it's good defense. That's that match we like to see. Young Bolton on Donders.
Held that a little bit too long. Donders, I'm not too sure if she was aware of the situation or the limited amount of time she had, but anyhow, ends up a violation. Mountaineers do come. They do have a 2-point lead. 3 minutes to play. Twydale, 4-3.
That's what we're talking about. They need to get those shots up.
That's her first field goal attempt and also make of the game. So at a pretty opportune time for the Mountaineers, stretches the lead to 5. Dowdle, this is the point where they've got that lead. They love to be able to get a couple of stops and really start to turn the screws.
Oh, good steal from Donders.
Yeah, nice step and through.
It's nice. Wasn't that pretty?
Just a classy move from FD10. King pulls through. Quick, Lennard. Nice pass there.
The King.
See plenty of those go up in the Saints C semi-pros C grade team, I tell you. Extending the elbow. This good defense from Donders being able to
Dickinson checks back in now.
Anita Brown getting a bit of an extended rest on the bench too, trying to re-energise her legs for the 4th. Carissa Grigg coughs that one up. King pushing through. It's a tough pass.
It's another foul.
Silly foul too in the bonus. So 80 feet from the basket, committing a foul. It's just going to be an easy walk down the court. I think Donders is going to shoot him as well. The foul's committed on her. So
bit of a mix-up there with the batsman. I think they thought it was a inbound.
That's a bad foul.
It is, especially especially being in the bonus.
But it was a nothing foul as well.
Frustration foul, I think.
Yeah.
Donders makes the first. 8 points for the game now for Francis Donders to go along with 7 assists and 8 steals as well. So that just shows how, I suppose, important she's been on the defensive end especially. Again, she's very active. Skinner. She's got the size advantage in that matchup, but Donders is very, probably out-aggressiving her at the minute. So Mountaineers cough that one up. 1 point game. It's Parker. Just waiting, hoping Dowdle had made the step in there, but
good fast movement for the Mountaineers.
2 points.
Johnny G asking for 2 points here from the girls.
Double
Big
team.
chance.
Gets a shot away.
Oh, yes.
Aggression from King, contesting the rebound. Last touch by the Capitals. Baseline play opportunity for the Mountaineers. Couple cross-court screens. Coming King. It's good dish. Twydale for 3.
Good board.
Rattles that out, Dickinson. Manan King forcing that one in. That's 2. Second technical on the bench. And that's good night. Cabe Ciccolini, I think.
Early shout for the big fella.
Not happy with something that he saw there anyway, and That's it. He's going to hit the sheds. I dare say we'll pop him up on the Facebook feed shortly to watch the end of this game. So we might be able to get a comment from Cabe.
I missed that. What happened?
Second technical. So yeah, if there's 2 technical fouls on the bench, the coach is responsible. So Cabe gets the rest of the night off.
What was Cabe unhappy about there?
I don't know. I don't know whether he thought there was some contact on that inbound pass. I don't think there was too much in it, to be honest. I thought the referees have probably done a pretty fair job this game. So a little bit of frustration starting to show for the Mountaineers, and that's going to leave Vanessa Weber at the helm. She assumes the standard coaching upright position now at the head of the bench. And coughs up, compounds.
I think we've seen this somewhere before.
But anyway, they are grasping on to a 1-point lead, the Mountaineers. They'll get another opportunity in this quarter. That's great. Up in their lane from King.
Another good steal from Donders.
She's happy to take that one. Hand up in the nod in the old approval there.
The old, thanks for coming.
Good ownership.
Black. Bubs is back.
She is aggressive on defence, isn't she? Donders.
She's a fair player.
Yeah. Look at her. Look at her defence off the ball here.
Twidell jacking up the triple. Boom!
That's
From
what I see from her.
That's 2 from 3 from her.
6 points, Tracy.
6 points on 2 3 balls. And Tracy Twidell coming at a vital time too for the Mountaineers.
And that'll be 4. 4 fouls on Lennon, I'm pretty sure.
All the referees in the crowd.
Can't get a foul.
Do I hear you refereeing a foul?
That's 4.
You just got to take it, mate.
We see Anita Brown check back in.
For the last possession, so 8.6 for the Mountaineers to conjure something up after these 2 free throws from Spees.
Cha-ching. Clang.
8 to play. Brown pushing it up. Hadn't really got anyone running with her, but she's going to push it. Dickerson will get a look.
Find the last shot. No good.
It's a good contest there from Parker. Just getting a hand up, giving Dickerson something to think about, and just probably changed the shot a little bit there, enough to put her off anyway. So Mountaineers will go to the third quarter break with another lead. So as we saw last week, not as commanding as what they had last week, but a 3-point lead, and once again put themselves in a position to win the game. Now it's that opportunity to take the next step and get over the line, enjoy yourselves a win, and celebrate a victory, hopefully after the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, mate, it's as we said before, we've got to learn from your mistakes. It's time to nail the fourth quarter, isn't it? We've been in this situation.
How are the girls going to handle it over there now without Cabe?
Oh, look, Vanessa's a veteran of this team, been around for a lot of years as well. Obviously, having Cabe ejected because of those 2 bench technicals, perfect world, you'd love him to be there because he's a very smart thinker when it comes to the strategy of the game of basketball. But you've got to play the cards you're dealt now. Vanessa takes the reins and very capable as well. So, Mountaineers, it really, the leadership needs to come from the girls on the court too. So Brown, King, Skinner, they've got to put their hands up and really grab this game by the throat and lead the other girls to a win. So the frustration, you can still see Brown's looks visibly frustrated just by the body language. So they really needed to put that aside, whatever's happened, to come out, assert their dominance on this game and carry the team. Jump on the shoulders. We're not going to let this one slip again. So really take the authority and and be the one to inspire the team to get home on this occasion.
And as the coach, I think you've really got to put it to your three main players and say, look, it's your time. It's your turn. You've got to get us over the line tonight, you know?
Exactly right.
Bit of ownership.
And they've always spoken about, yeah, they've had some great performances. They trade it for a win. Now's the opportunity to trade in these performances and grab yourselves a win. And that's not the ideal first possession for the Mountaineers. Dowdle. Oh, there's a foot on the line there, but picked up by Chief Referee Adam Morrow. I think they've had a pretty good game in all the Mountaineers. The referees.
Yeah, have had a good game. Going to ask Cabe the same thing. He might get a different answer, but...
King steps through. Nice move.
Good finish.
Good agility shown there.
That 5 points buffer again.
She really does just burn everyone from there, doesn't she?
Yeah, if you can isolate her in a 1v1 situation, that's tough from Donders. You see her being able to
bank one home.
Get her teammates involved. Again, when we're talking about the Mountaineers, someone put their hand up and want to carry the team to a win. I suppose Capitals are going to be looking to Donders to do that for them as well. Come alive.
It's been very good from outside.
Starting to get a bit of smoke coming from the fingers. Capitals Parker.
Tough shot.
Oh, nice.
18 points to be.
4-point lead for the Mountaineers. King, Twydale again. Fagan went under the screen there on that occasion, so even though she's popped the threes as King gets to the basket with another step through scoop. Donders 3. Donders 3's no good off the back of the iron, but stays with Capitals.
Reset.
Parker gets the 2, 65, 61 to the home team, the Toowoomba Mountaineers. We've got 7:42 to play. It's King. Twydale tries a little heat check there from Twydale. It's no good. Dickinson out of court. Capitals ball. Georgia Bolton checks back in for Dickinson, so immediately right up and in full court on Donders, trying to give it a bit of aggression back her own way.
All right, that's okay. We'll leave that. I think it's on my end. In and out.
Nice move from Spees, but Bolton pushing the issue. Brown again. Nice. Gets around the bucket. Collected on the arm. That'll go to the line to shoot 2. Anita Brown.
On Donders too. $3,000 now for Donders.
Hands up. Come on. Everybody, get them out of here, points. Come on. We want these points.
Probably one area we're going to be better is at the stripe.
Yeah.
Going deep into this fourth quarter, it's going to be very important. The 3 points we get from there.
Makes the second.
Round. $16 points.
7:10 to go. Toowoomba with a 5-point lead.
Fagan bringing the ball up. Attacking, taking right at the rim, kicks out to Howard. Dowdle stretching the limits.
Rebound King.
No good. Anita Brown.
Open jumper.
Oh.
Interesting to see the Capitals have stayed in this man-to-man matchup. I suppose for the last, a lot of the third and fourth quarter here, where they'd had a lot of success with that 2-3 zone, but opted to stick with the man-to-man. Obviously backing themselves mano e mano.
I think you'll see him go back to that 2-3 at some stage in this quarter, in the back end of it here. As we saw in the last week, it was when we were confronted with that, it was a 1-3-1 or a 2-3 zone, and we struggled to score points in the last 4 minutes.
Donders, whoop, 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 whoop. The crowd might have put her off a bit.
12 points, Donders.
Makes the second tally to 12 points. So a nice little stat line there. 12 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 8 steals for Donners. Hasn't got a block. A bit disappointing.
Fair outing.
How many steals did you say?
8 steals.
Yes.
Good aggression from Brown.
Stiff not to get a foul there, wasn't it?
Yeah, might have got a little assistance
push
on the way out, but not seen that wave from the officials. Donna's attacks, opens up, bumped by Bolton. And again, she'll go to the line to shoot her 11th and 12th free throw for the game for Donda, so she's been aggressive.
Yeah, you can see she's just up the ante in the last minute or two here as well.
6 of 10. She gets a lucky shooter's roll on that occasion. So 7-11. A little bit down on what she's done from the 81% from the stripe for the season. Again, can only get the 50.
Might be these non-forgiving rims that you speak about, Steve.
Yeah.
Brown looks to slow the play down.
Inside the key.
Double team on King. Leaves Dixon open.
Bit of miscommunication on the rebound there. Donders and Howard both chasing that one down, but spilling the beans. Another baseline possession for the Mountaineers. We see a double high screen.
Donners with another steal.
Dickerson, yeah.
We got the double. Hard foul.
Yeah, pushing to the hoop too.
Might have hurt herself there. Stay down anyway.
A little scrape on the knee. She's lucky she's got the long skins on tonight.
Compression garment.
Yes.
Again, phenomenal effort. 9 steals to the name, and I don't think the tally's going to end there either. So 10 steals for the Capitals. 11 steals for the Capitals, and 9 at the thieving hands of Frances Donders.
I dare say she would have stolen a few hearts over the years, Stephen. Thief of the night.
It's King backing down, operating.
Look.
Bolton had the open look. Nice step through.
It's good hustle too.
Yeah, you just see the Capitals have up the ante on the defensive end here.
1 point game, so it is. The arm wrestle is on again. 5 minutes to play out here at the USQ Clive Berghofer Centre in Toowoomba. Both teams hungry to get their second win of the season as Fagan bombs away.
It's good
from the base.
Good Dickerson.
Good pressure.
Complete mismatch there, wasn't it? Yeah.
2 points. 2 points.
Really need a steadier in offense here.
That's it.
Brown.
That's the one. Brown with the textbook little jumper. It's her bread and butter.
You see the older.
Good steal, girls, on the break.
Brown off and running. Great little run here put together from the Mountaineers. leading or stemming from that sort of lift in defence. Georgia Bolton just chasing, harassing Desmond Dickerson again. Up and in
from Donders, the teammate.
Up and in from Dickerson. Stacey, good steal, good catch, nice catch. When you're always going to be tough to stop when you're getting a catch that close to the basket. Player the calibre of Stacey Howard. Pull up from Brown, can't go. An opportunity for the Capitals to push. Skinner read that one like a book.
Yeah, good pass.
Right back at you.
Timeout.
That's a good little 2-minute period there for the Bears.
Bronwyn Marshall, seen enough for the Capitals.
Okay, we'll be happy in the showers at the moment.
That was a good timeout though.
I think he might be tuned in to the stream here, but yeah, great little stretch there for the Mountaineers last couple of minutes. 5-point lead. They do lead 72-67. 3:53 to play. A position that has been all too familiar for the Mountaineers in previous weeks without being able to capitalise and get the win. Tonight, what do they need to do to make sure that's going to be a different story?
Oh, it's got to be on Brown. She's got to control our offence. As you saw this before, we needed a nice little steadier. She took the play herself. Nice little pull-up jumper for 2, and then they pressed on the defensive end and got the easy bucket to Christina.
I think the defence is going to win us this game.
Yeah. So, but on the offensive end, just being patient, not pushing that shot. Getting the open look, and then obviously being aggressive still on the defensive end. Let's see if the girls can take this one home.
Yeah, definitely. The trap they may have fallen into last week is they had the lead, tried to play a game of protecting the lead. I think the key is to stay aggressive, keep pushing the ball. Don't try and finish with a 5-point lead and win this there. You want to try and stretch it out, get a 10, get a 12, get a 15-point lead in the next couple of minutes and really put this one to bed. Dickerson up and in again on Donders, taking those couple of seconds in the back court off. Settle into the half court now. Nice drop off. Donders.
Through the back door, Donders.
Got a full court pressure again from the Capitals now. So Brown
help here. For a bit of help, yeah.
Get the ball over.
Great outlet.
In the nick of time. Now they want to settle in, get a good set, get a good opportunity in the half court. Brown. Jump ball. I think the arrow is with the Capitals.
Probably not a couple of plays we wanted coming out of the timeout. The girls really got to aim up on the defensive end here. Donda's really dictating what's going on with the Capitals here at the moment.
Dowdle waiting for something to happen off the ball. Howard obliges. High catch.
Big screen.
Big bumping screen by Dowdle. King good again pushing the lane there.
Yeah, it's a good pull out there.
Beautiful.
Good option on the pull-up. Can't get it to go. 3-point lead to the Mountaineers.
2 minutes 45 left on the clock.
Fagan, Bolton, good defense, using her feet to stay inside, pressuring the Fagan. Good matchup that's been. Dowdle again, heads down.
That's
great catch from Howard
big
under the bucket.
Chance of being all leveled up here in a second.
Score counts, 1 to come. Howard has 17 points.
17 points for Stacey Howard. Chance to tick that over to 18. Tied ball game now, 72 apiece. Mountaineers are in the bonus as well. This is full court pressure. Looking to get it up. Clock's counting down in the back court, but Dickerson provides that option to get it over. King kicks out Dickerson. Long 2 is short. Brown comes up. Needs to get it up. Shot clock violation called there. Didn't quite get it off. Still on the fingertips as she tried to have a last hurrah on that occasion. Donders. Dickerson. Coming off a couple of high screens on the on balls. Dowdle. Tell you what, that was plumb in front too. A little bit hot on that pass into the shin of Howard.
Capitals going to press. Obviously try and get the ball out of Anita's hands here.
Yeah, and the key is to probably not do that, but get the ball.
Reach in.
Get the ball moving. You'd like to see him sort of shift that press, make him adjust, split the seam, get it over half court. Probably not the option Coach Webber would have been looking for. Bolton sort of dribbling in and attracting that defensive pressure in the back court. Now the opportunity in the half court, turnover forced by Dowdle. Gets it to go, so Capitals grab the lead. Minute 30 to go. Really need to compose themselves here, the Mountaineers. That's a shocking pass from King.
From Christina there.
No.
Just giving that up. Floating pass in the air for an eternity, just asking to be picked off.
Is it timeout Toowoomba?
The timeout Toowoomba, yes. 2-point deficit here, so it comes down to character now. You really need to execute, but to trust in your process, trust in what you've been working on the training court. And you've got to look to those guys. So you've got to look to Anita, Brown, Skinner, King to set the standard and make sure they can get into their offense and get a good opportunity. If the shot doesn't fall, that happens in a game of basketball. You've got to give yourselves that opportunity to make those good shots. Yeah. So
you want to see them try and push it out of that press too. You might be able to get the easy pass down and have a bit of a overlap. Down,
a bit of help too.
Exactly.
Yeah, to get it into the, I suppose, flashing to the middle, get it into the middle, and then get your wing runners and hitting that so you can break that press. More often than not, when you do have the opportunity to push the ball through a press, you're going to have a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 at the back there as well. So opportunities for the Mountaineers, but they do need to remain composed. 1:27 to go. The visiting Brisbane Capitals lead 74-72. Both teams looking to chalk up their second win of the season.
Dwight Old checks back in too.
Good option.
It's been dynamite from the 3-point line tonight.
So they'll have 21 seconds for this possession. So there's no need to panic too if they don't score here.
The double on Brown. They don't want the ball in her hands.
Bolton, couple dribble handoffs up high for the Mountaineers. Bolton, good aggression, kicks out.
Back to Twido.
Back of the rim, Brown.
Good from Brown. Great follow through.
Experience that.
And that's just that passion, wanting to chase it. That's that extra 1% that you need to put in, follow the ball, make sure you give yourself those second chance opportunities. It's a tough call on defense. That was looked to be clean to the naked eye.
Tell you what, lucky Gabe Ciccolini's not out here.
Yeah, he'd be going.
Be fired up from that one.
It'd be sent out of the postcode with another technical foul.
Picked the pocket perfectly there.
Of Pickle Packers?
Yeah, triple bag
there.
Oh, but what it was clean.
Stiff, that real stiff.
Howard, first one to go. Minute 01 to play.
19 points.
That'll get the Capitals the lead. Lead by 2 now with a minute to play. So the Mountaineers looking to get up through this play.
Oh, that's not what we wanted there.
Turnover. So again, just dribbling into the, I suppose, what the Capitals wanted.
That's good handles from Donners.
They wanted here, and they're going to obviously try and slow down, take as much time off the clock. Howard tucks it under the wing. Don't want to foul in this situation now, and you don't want an offensive rebound either. So we've still got a 12-second differential on the clock.
And that's
a 4-point game.
To the game.
Brown looking to push the ball up the court. 19.3, 4-point game. Capitals leading.
Again, boys.
And isn't it? It's funny when you're. Well, it's not funny, but when you're not winning, we'll just watch this play actually.
Going to get a look for a quick shot. Twydale from the base. Good from there now. 12 seconds to go. Going to have to foul. Going to have to put someone to the line. Clock winding down. King, they probably run a good 5 or 6 seconds off the clock there. They needed the quick foul. That's going to be the 4th on Brown. That might be why she was a bit reluctant. But someone had to. Dondas had the ball inbound. They just needed to commit to that foul sooner to give themselves more opportunity on the offensive end. It's going to be a one-possession game no matter what happens here.
You'd be looking for Twydale out there on that arc.
First one's good. I don't know if they've got a timeout in the kick.
It's been good from the line.
The Mountaineers.
Here, Howard.
One timeout left. So
misses the second.
I was going to say,
good rebound.
Better option.
Push the ball up the court, 4 to go. 1 second.
Put it up, son.
It's out of time. Basket goes. It's going to be waved away, I think, from referee Adam Morrow. Unpacks the whistle. Takes it off. No score. Game, set, match, and another heartbreaker for the Mountaineers.
What a game. What a game that was. Hand to end, wasn't it?
Absolute killer. You can see the disappointment on the faces of the girls. Just didn't get it off on time. The right call by the referees. Yeah. The ball was definitely in the hands there, but disappointing. Note again. Sound like a broken record week in, week out. Gives themselves the opportunity to be in these ball games. There's probably half a dozen games that has been a familiar tale, and I think the frustration is really starting to show on the girls. The disappointment in the eyes.
It's the way, isn't it? Like when you're not winning. Like the call on the steal with the foul there before, it looked clean, but when you're not winning, things just don't go your way in those areas.
You hit the nail on the head there earlier, Steve, when you said those little 1%ers too, isn't it?
It certainly is. They do make all the difference, and a bit stuck for words, I suppose. Tough loss to take for the Mountaineers. It's what do you do? I think that one will hurt. And now getting into those situations and coming up short like they have in the last couple of games, they really just start to leave a bitter taste in the mouth, or it really hurting the girls. But again, you've got to take that in the dressing room and use that to be able to motivate yourself next time you're in there. You don't want to be back in this situation. We're going to switch over to Johnny Gouldson for the game MVP from the local team for the Mountaineers, so we'll tune in there, see what happens.
Come on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Burnoth Property sponsor the season most valuable players. Toowoomba Sports Club gives a voucher for each game. The voucher for the MVP for the Toowoomba team this game was Tracy. Well done. How do you feel about that?
It would have been nice to win, but...
One more three-pointer.
Yeah.
Well done, girls. Give them a round of applause. We love it. Thank you for supporting us. Thanks, girls. All right. I believe ITP are going to do some filming after the men's game. Is that right, Zach? Okay. Babe, I thought you had one.
So there we have it, MVP Tracy Twydale hitting a couple of big shots, but...
What'd you finish up with there?
Finished up with the 12 points, so 4 of 7 threes in a disappointing loss. So it was always going to be a game, an arm wrestle. and it could have gone either way, right down to the wire, and it proved to be the case.
Steve, who'd you have as best on court for both teams?
Oh, look, I think Stacey Howard really dominated there in the fourth quarter. To put her hand up when the time comes. She's finished with, on the point scoring, 24 points. I think she's led all scorers there, so especially for the Capitals, so 24 points. But Dondas was good. The experienced head, without sort of dominating on the score sheet, she's finished up with 16 points, 7 assists, 9 steals.
That's a big game.
3 rebounds, and just controlling that and facilitating the offense and getting the good options down the stretch. So
she was my best, Dondas. She controlled the game.
Yeah.
And when they needed it in that fourth quarter, she was the one that stepped up. And got a moment on her back. A couple of good defensive plays and just control the offensive end.
We spoke about the Toowoomba big three, but I tell you what, the Dowdle, Dondas and Howard, they're a big three unto himself.
Well, they certainly are, yeah. And then throw in Fagan there. Like Fagan, early on, she's finished with 14 points, but she was, I suppose, the catalyst to get the ball rolling early on in the first quarter there. She's finished with 14. So a pretty good performance from the Capitals. They'll be over the moon to get the win, get them off the bottom of the ladder. So it might have been a matchup for the dreaded wooden spoon with only a few weeks to play out in the season. But just to recap there, Stacey Howard for the visitors, the winners, the 2-point winners there, led all scores with 24. Dowdle finished with 17 and 10 and 7. So like that's a nice little stat line itself there. So 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 20 assists total for the Capitals. So they've shared the ball around pretty well. Frances Dondas finished with 16. Just a veteran now to again realise the Mountaineers were in foul trouble in the bonus. So she got to the line, was aggressive, took the contact and went to the couple of bonus. Mountaineers did some silly things and give her a couple of cheap opportunities as well, which probably didn't help their cause.
What do you put that down to? Inexperience for the Mountaineers?
Inexperience, and it is like winning's I suppose it's a culture, or you learn to win.
Exactly.
So
it's contagious, probably the best.
It's got to happen. You got to just kick, scratch, bite, crawl. That's
right.
Roll.
Find a way to win.
Throw mud in the eyes. Do whatever to get that first one and get that momentum, and then sort of roll on from there. So the Mountaineers, tough opportunity. Another one which has gone begging. But anyway,
as you said, it's contagious. Last week you get home, you don't blow a 15-point lead. You probably finish that game there tonight.
Exactly. You wind the clock back to probably 4 or 5 games there. Yep. The Mackay game, there's plenty of games there. They get over the top of them earlier in the season. Who knows? But there's a lot of could-haves, should-haves, maybes, ifs.
Might have been.
Don't count for much at the end of the day. It's all black and white. What happens on the score sheet and on the ladder. So for the Mountaineers, they were led on the scoring from Anita Brown with 22. She's finished with 22, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. So a nice little game there for Anita. Christina King's 20 and 13. So another double-double to her collection. And Demi Skinner's finished with the 19 points. Twydale chipped in with 12. So they did get that input from the outside the big three, that which we were hoping for, but it just wasn't enough to get them over the line on this occasion.
Disappointing, mate, but yeah, that's it, isn't it? The girls got to go away and learn from that. It's that whole season. It's a learning season, isn't it? And hopefully they can learn from these errors, I suppose you can put it down to, going into next season.
Certainly. So we're going to take a quick break. Men are out on the court warming up. We'll come back with a few minutes left into this warm-up, give you a bit of a preview of the action coming up. But if you are out and about, get out to the USQ Clive Berghofer Centre. Watch it live. What's better than watching it live? And a big shout-out to our sponsors, Northfield Constructions and Bendigo Bank.
That was a great game of basketball for the girls.
Down here, anything's possible. A first degree, a second career, a way to advance. As the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland, the University of Southern Queensland has helped over 100,000 students become more from more places, on their own terms, in their own time, with 24/7 access and over 100 online degrees. Become more from more places with USQ.
Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding.
That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
I'd like to thank you. The Bendigo Bank supplied a defib machine. I died playing golf. The defib machine saved my life. So thank you.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Serena Men's Shed. You are supporting us and we keep a lot of men out of hospital. Thank you very much for your support.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
That's outstanding.
That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
Down here, anything's possible. A first degree, a second career, a way to advance. As the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland, the University of Southern Queensland has helped over 100,000 students become more from more places, on their own terms, in their own time, with 24/7 access and over 100 online degrees. Become more from more places with USQ.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Serena Men's Shed. You are supporting us, and we keep a lot of men out of hospital. Thank you very much for your support.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
It's time now for the University of Southern Queensland QBL Live Stream Series with the Clive Berghofer Toowoomba Mountaineers in action at the Cave. To call the game, please welcome the semi-pro.
Welcome back out to the Clive Berghofer Recreational Centre out here at the USQ in Toowoomba. And just a big shout out to our sponsors tonight. Northbuild Construction's our game sponsor, and Bendigo Bank, our live stream sponsor of the night. We do welcome up the hill the league-leading undefeated Brisbane Capitals this week, so 13-0. There is a noted omission from their roster tonight, though. Jason Cadee hasn't made the trip up the hill, who has been taken all before him for the Capitals throughout this season in what they do. But in saying that, the Sam McKinnon-led Capitals are still going to be a very tough matchup for the Mountaineers. They've got Bullets development player Will Magnay, also their stalwart, their bit of the furniture now he is down in the Capitals roster, Aaron Anderson, who's having a great season once again for them. Very well coached team, move the ball well in offense. They're a very entertaining team to watch, so Mountaineers will need to be able to, hope they scouted well, able to accommodate or negate what they're going to do in the half court there. So we might just switch over to Johnny Gouldson for the singing of the national anthem. We'll come back and finish off the preview.
Johnny Gouldson with the national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Wow, aren't we proud to be Australians? If you're not, there's something wrong with you. This is a great country.
Johnny Gouldson, what a great country. His best Clive Palmer efforts over there.
It's the granddaughter, isn't it? Johnny's granddaughter.
I'll tell you what, it was a good rendition.
I was saying that to Steve last week. Great rendition.
Yeah, very talented singers we do have up here. It must be the brisk winter air. That
You've been known to loosen the old vocal cords, mate.
Can belt out a couple of Aussie classics. Normally take a couple of glasses of courage to get me there, but we do. But anyway, that's another story. So we are welcomed into the town, the Brisbane Capitals. I did say they were undefeated, but our ladder here is just a little bit outdated. They did cop their first loss of the season last week against the Townsville Heat, so they're coming off a win, so they'll be looking to bounce back, get their streak back alive. And for the Mountaineers, a great opportunity, I suppose, to test and measure and see really where they stand against the benchmark of this competition.
Yeah, exactly, man. You've got to take it as an opportunity. That's the thing. When you haven't got finals to play for, you've got to look at the teams you're going up against. You've got to try and take a scalp. And here's their chance, the Nears tonight. You know, obviously Cadet's out for the Capitals, but if you have a look at the sheet, you know they share the points across the board well. Obviously Cadet puts up some big numbers, but they're all contributors. That's the biggest thing, and it's going to be an opportunity. Like the Nears look at it as a getting a scalp. The Capitals will look at it as playing, and some of their players getting some more time and pushing their case coming in finals.
Who are the Nears going to turn to? Who's that go-to player for them?
Sims sort of is obviously their dominant player in offense. I think he's just struggled to mesh into the team and be able to get that cohesion required to really get them all pushing in the one direction. Ricardo Martin has been good when he's been aggressive. Again, like the women, signs of frustrations are starting to show as the season goes on, but I'd say we look to him to push the ball into the basket. Ranko Paselevic has been good. Cam Webber just does what he's needed to do. And it'll be a great opportunity for young Jason Spurgeon. As we say this every week, the matchups that he comes up with, he's up against two legitimate bigs tonight. Will Magno, who's just spent some time over in the World University Games over there, which was a sort of up-and-coming NBL type roster. He's got a guy might get a match up against Zach Carter, who's had a stint at the AIS, played at the higher level there as well. So his learning curve will continue. I'd love to see him just be that little bit more aggressive, especially on the defensive end, not get pushed around a little bit. But they need to stick what they do. When they play best when they share the ball, they push it around, and they're able to get everybody involved. They don't really have the superstar that's going to be able to take over a game. So I think Danny will be looking for everybody to be pushing in the one direction and really get involved with their sets and get some good options. As Capitals control the tip. So Will Magnay wearing the 12 tonight. Pushing it up there, and Sims draws the offensive foul, getting in the lane. It's Mountaineers, first opportunity, the half-court set. Swinging around, defensive look from the Brisbane Capitals in a man-to-man.
Tell you what, that's going to be a good matchup, Aaron Anderson and Sims.
It is. Battle of the 5'2"ers.
Speed to burn.
You see Anderson cleaning the glass on the defensive end, coming up and getting in their set now. So Selevic does have the task of trying to contain Anderson.
It's good D.
It's good from Spurgeon, and Magnay just showing his class there, able to finish as well, but can't do much more than that. Jason Spurgeon, good defence.
Yeah, as you said before, what an experience for a 17-year-old to come up against some of these blokes. You know, like, what it's going to do for him down the track's enormous.
The likes of Magno, who's spent a couple of seasons as a development player with the Bullets. We do see NBL legend heading the bench there of the Brisbane Capitals, slamming Sam McKinnon. So current assistant coach.
Big player, wasn't he?
He was current assistant coach down at the Bullets. Got the head coaching role, just cutting his teeth in the QBL and doing a pretty good job of it as well. Cam Webber makes 1 from 2 from the line to open up the account for the Mountaineers.
Be a bit of a sweetener as a player, wouldn't it, going to play under Slam and Sam?
Oh, been there, done that. He's a wealth of experience to be able to pass on to the younger troops. Anderson, 3. They do love the 3. This Brisbane Capitals team, they're definitely not afraid to get them up. It's turnover there. Cam Webber just pushing it into the Kiwi.
Anderson.
Pickus from the baseline.
Good rebound.
Comes up Will Magna. I think that's picked up his second foul early on. 2 fouls, 2 minutes for big Willie Magna. Interesting to see. Decisions for Coach Sam McKinnon. Wanting to
left him out there.
Pick up the third, but has trust in his player to be able to play smart, keep his hands out. 2-3 zone from the Capitals, and I'd say that's pretty good scouting too from the coaching staff at the Capitals, because again, like the women Mountaineers, the blokes have struggled against this against that zone look. Just haven't been able to get the off-the-ball movement or penetrate into the zone to be effective against the zone looks that they've been shown. So Capitals happy to go to that early and see if the Mountaineers are able to make adjustments on previous weeks. Another 3.
Can pull up the 3. No.
Nangai gets the rebound. Anderson.
Jacob Wilson penetrating, dishing. Pickus can't get the 3 to go. Good deflection. Very athletic Anderson there.
So who are we looking to in the half court here, Steve? Who's going to?
Oh, look, I don't think. Yeah, you really want to be penetrating the zone, so you want to hit your post inside, collapse the zone, make them, I suppose, play those post players, and then look to kick out to your shooters. Your shooters have to be ready to spot up, have their feet ready, and be ready to pull the trigger when they get the opportunity.
Mountaineers really struggling to get something to drop here early, aren't they?
Spurgeon.
I'll call on Spurgeon.
He's got 2.
Foul, so the
2 big boys too early, eh?
Big boys getting tangled up early.
Big Will Mitchell off the bench.
Big blue collar Will. Nice fish from Carter.
Magday with the flush.
Good ball movement, and that's synonymous with what the Capitals are renowned for.
Nice.
Cam Webber with 3 to return.
It's his signature baseline 3 from the wily old veteran Cameron Webber. And again, another open look from the wing.
Oh, good look.
Good rebound.
Go again here.
Spurgeon's down.
Spurgeon's down, yeah. No, he's up.
With a bit of a limp.
It's good to go.
Tough young kid.
Anderson.
Pushing the ball up the court.
Open man out here.
Bang.
Bang. Jacob Wilson.
Wide open for Willie.
Good rotation, isn't it, from Brisbane, from the Capitals?
Moving the ball, and that's their 5th attempt on the 3 for the game.
Spurgeon with the spin.
Nice Like that from Spurge.
Yeah.
Again, bit of aggression, happy to go straight at Will Magnay.
Not shirking the task, is he?
So Mountaineers change up into a zone of their own. Might be a 1-3-1 look by the team.
Wilson again.
Wilson.
Bang, bang.
Happy to bomb away from 3. They're not shy. Capitals. And simple maths does tell you. Simple maths does tell you 3 is always better than 2 as Anderson tries his luck.
Bit of communication. Oh, in the back door.
Very ambitious.
Wilson pushing the ball up the court. So Wilson getting a start tonight in the absence of Jason Cadiz and might look to get a few more minutes than what he's used to. Nice lob.
Yes, nice inside.
So Sims, he's complaining, but he was right underneath the basket, clearly inside the charge circle there, so he's not going to get that call ever. Doesn't really have any argument. Magnay knew that. He had every right to.
Big Willie Mitchell checks in. I think Big Will was given some good minutes last week. Whenever he come on, there's great defensive intensity. He's going to have his hands full here tonight with the boys from the Capitals, but down low on the block.
Yeah, well, he'll enjoy his matchup. He loves bumping bodies.
Yeah.
So.
Who we got in the 3 for the Capitals, Steve? Who's he?
Ben Wilson's checked in.
Oh,
Willie Wilson.
It's a double dribble from Big Bill Mitchell. Just a couple of the Capitals getting a bit of time early on, and that's one thing as well that they do. They do run deep into their rotation.
Oh, nice dish.
And the flush to finish.
Magnay gets upstairs and winds one down.
Danger signs here early for Toowoomba.
Yeah, early 11-point deficit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sims wheeling and dealing and
Sims
jabbing.
Nice, good finish.
Trying to outbody Magnay there. I don't think you're going to work there, mate.
No, he's a 60-kilo ringing wet up against the...
the big man from deep. Bang. Jeez, he's electric early, isn't he?
Nice shot there from Magnay too.
It's an
good rebound.
Big Willie Mitchell.
Billy.
One to come.
No flex. No famous flex from Willie. Too strong. A technical foul on Sims too, just jawing off. He's going to keep going here. He's in trouble if he wants to keep going. So
it's been brewing for a while, isn't it? Not just tonight.
Has got a record in this league as having a temper, and he does need to control himself here, or he'll see himself suffer the same fate as what women's coach Cabe Ciccolini did with an early trip to the showers.
And it's just bad. It's just a momentum killer. You know, we had the nice strong move from Willie inside, and then to cop the tack, it just kills all momentum that you've got.
See Francis Dondas just wandering through the camera there.
Yeah, she gave you a big wave, Steve.
Get the lid on the camera. Wasn't happy with what's the coverage she got in the women's game. Trying to get a bit of bonus footage.
I'm sure you give her a bit of bonus footage, mate.
Hey?
Hey.
Something he's not letting on here. Old flame or something there, Steve.
No, mate.
Willie can't have the extras.
Into the game, number 10 for Toowoomba, Abraham Yak. Stunner. Anderson.
Seen Yak come into the game for the first time for Toowoomba. He's had nothing of that lob in there.
Picks off that pass.
Stunner gets an intercept. Wilson.
It's Jacob Wilson pushing with a nice
pass.
That's a real good pass.
Great look.
It's Ben Wilson, the Wilson combination there. Sims pushing it up. It's a tough shot. Good D from Magnay, just being a big, imposing figure. Nice frame asserts, and Wilson again. Wilson's been good.
Great start, Wilson.
The little bit of extra minutes now. That'll take his total to 8 points early on, only to be led by Will Magnay in the scoring column, and they've got a pretty convincing lead early, 24-10, and they pretty much doing as they please at the moment, the Capitals.
Great ball movement, isn't it? Great ball movement for the Capitals, and they've got some real great shooters from the outside, and that's just complementing their ball movement. They're knocking down the threes as well and looking at running the floor early.
Fast and aggressive too on the fast break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Direction and purpose to go along with it, and yeah, like we said, from the outside, they're really electric.
Yeah, and you can see in these first, what have we had, 7.5 minutes of why they are up the top of the table with just the one defeat, so 13-1 against the Mountaineers, languishing. A complete opposite actually, with just the one win for the season. And they're going to have to probably make a few adjustments and make them very quickly if they don't want this to get ugly early on.
Yeah. And rein that aggression in too, like you're sort of saying there. You've got Sims there gobbing off and really wanting to go on with it. It's not a good morale lifter, is it?
Frustration.
Yeah.
I said to Steve before, it's frustration that's been building over weeks. You can see it's just coming out in a few of the players. You got to check your emotions at the door.
The key's going to be defence too. 24 points in 7.5 minutes. So that was the problem last week, giving up 116 points, I think, in regulation. And you just can't give up that amount of points in a game and expect to, well, not only win, but be competitive and stay in there. So interesting to see what Coach Danny Breen comes up with on the defensive philosophy.
You know, at the moment, this first quarter, strong from Yak.
Follow from Mitchell.
Mitchell's
and
really crashing them boards,
they're
isn't
off
he?
and running.
Yeah.
Little drop off from Anderson to the 3. Stoddart couldn't get it, guys. Anderson's again. And he pops down wide open from the base. That one's good from Anderson.
Oh, look at it now. We've got 28 points with 2 minutes to go. You're looking at a 30-point plus quarter again to open up here for the Capitals. The one thing we didn't want.
That's where we're looking to operate now. Martin, step back 3. It's good. Drains it to his own. The score of the game for Ricardo Martin.
In the lane. But contact.
Which calls a foul. Magnay will go to the line to shoot 2 bonus.
Number 9,
Malat Macau checks in for
Danny Sims.
Daniel Sims. Minute 33 to play. Capitals 28, Toowoomba 13. Magnay no good on the first. It's a second to go. He's going to earn his first breather of the game as Zach Carter checks back in for the Capitals. Extended here, so we're looking at half-court press from the Capitals. Mountaineers, good ball movement to break that. Foul called on Timothy Song though, and again the Capitals in the bonus as well, so the Mountaineers will go to the line. Malapa Couch, opportunity to chalk up his first points.
What's needed here, Steve, for a bit of a swing here in momentum? What are the Nears got to do? Is it going to start now in the defensive end?
Yeah, for sure. 29 points. They're going to have to get a few stops, get a momentum. No matter what you do in offense, you're going to be going at a red-hot clip just to try and level peg with the Capitals. So they really need someone to come on and probably lift the intensity on the defensive end, or try and stem the flow of what we've seen for the Capitals, which is going to be easier said than done for the Mountaineers.
Pump fake.
Stoddart gets Weber in the air. Pulls the trigger on a 3. Can't control the rebound. Timothy Song. Oh, Cresto Wall throws a bit of a blow up. There's McCouch. Tries his luck from long. Tough shot, that one from McCouch. So you can just see the Capitals sort of getting what they want when they want it. And the Mountaineers are having to settle with a little tougher option here in the first quarter as Anderson pulls the trigger right in the eye of the Yak.
Wow. 9 points, Anderson.
Big first quarter from Anderson.
9 points now for Anderson.
Yeah, just control the flow of the game here so far.
Weber.
Something looking to happen. Create off the dribble, Cam Weber. Which is up 10 seconds to go. Ooh, a little loose. Turnover from Yak. So 7.1 to go.
17-point lead.
Capitals will have an opportunity for the last possession of the quarter.
Anderson.
Happy to walk it up. I'd say gets a good look at a 3, just short, nice and straight there. So that's going to bring us to a close for the first quarter. Capitals have a commanding lead, 32-15, to carry a 17-point lead into the first break. They just look probably a step quicker. Their offense is happening a lot easier than what it is. Their defensive intensity is a bit higher. They're just leading all categories in that first quarter.
They're well drilled too, aren't they?
Oh,
like
well.
you said, from the outside the arc there, they're banging down 3s from everywhere. They're getting inside the paint. They're getting those easy looks. And probably a bit more aggressive on defence.
They're well drilled. You're going to see that they know their roles, and it's just their half-court structure. They're not pressed for time, and that just shows with the open looks they're getting. They're getting some really good looks from 3 and knocking them down as well.
Yeah, been very good, and it has been a pretty good rounded spread for them too. So Will Magnay's chipped in with 12 points. Perfect 5 of 5 from the field, so a couple easy dunks there. Missed a couple free throws, but he's been very good. So with the Aaron Anderson 9 points, and Jacob Wilson's chipped in with the 9 as well. So for the Mountaineers, they've just got Cam Weber leading there with the 4 points, and got a good spread, but the spread just isn't as high as what the Capitals is. So there lies the problem here in the first quarter. Mentioned it too. Defense is what's going to have to be like at this rate.
Change it up, do you think?
Oh, they have to do something. Yeah. Whether it's something that they need to change it up mid-quarter or a couple of possessions, throw a couple different looks at the Capitals to try and get them out of their sets and get them out of their comfort zone, so they're not getting such easy looks. But this rate, 128 points for the Capitals, that's going to be a bridge too far for the Mountaineers, so they really need to make those adjustments and make them very quickly. So Anderson gets in the lane, but
In the lane was Anderson, but not quite. Weber.
control. Malat Macau. Christo Wall. That's a shocking pass. I don't really know what he was, where that was targeted at, but it's a bit offline. Anderson driving through, dribbling around. Harlem Globetrotter try right through the key. Carter pulls the three. Yuck.
Nothing but air.
Massive 2 or 3 minutes here for the Nears, trying to stay in contact here with the Capitals. You know, down by 7 at the moment. We can't afford to let this blow out in these first few minutes here.
Couch waiting for something to happen off the ball. Whoever curls off that High pick from Mitchell. Finds Yak. Open in the corner.
Bang from the Yak.
Yickety Yak. Took come back. From the Yak. Down the back.
Reach.
That was on Weber.
Foul on Cam Webber, his first personal foul of the game. Capitals working off the side
Anderson with a good
inbound.
look there. Great rebound with Mitchell. How many's he up to now, Steve?
Am I the stats man?
A couple.
Three?
Three, yep.
But yeah, very much a blue collar worker, Will Mitchell. He's get in there and bump around. He's having a
tough shot.
Weber. We need a little bit more of that at the moment.
Little run now. Mountaineers able to close the deficit to 11. And once that's been on the back of, at the moment, scoreless period in the first 2 minutes for the Capitals.
It's a good start from the Mountaineers.
Wayward there, pushing the ball. This could end up.
He's going to throw the alley-oop a little bit earlier.
The couch.
With an unhappy couple of minutes
Trying to
for
go
Carter.
coast to coast too, is he?
Oh, good hands from Weber.
Need a little settler there. Just kick ball from Carter. 14-second. McKinnon goes to the bench.
Rotations happening here.
Pulling a few out. I dare say that he's probably not overwhelmed with that first 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Of this second quarter. It's Macau's a nice slicing and dicing.
Reducing the deficit to 9.
Single figures, so good start to this second stanza from the Mountaineers. Exactly what they needed to do, sort of settling into their work now. It's Magnay, just nice.
Too big, too strong.
Good moves, able to control himself, get Big Willie up in the air, step through and flush one down. So we're getting blisters on his hands swinging off that ring. The amount that he's been doing early on in this game. It's Weber.
Bangs it for 3.
Bang. Bang. Off the window.
Is happy with that.
He gives us the look.
I think he did like that one, so it was not pretty, but it still amounts to the same as if it was. So Magnay again slicing and dicing.
Here we go. The fast break's on. Macau. Boom.
Macau, good little period. 6 point game.
6 points.
Great little period there for the Mountaineers. It all has stemmed at the defensive end. So only 2 points early on in this quarter for the Capitals. So exactly what the doctor ordered for the Mountaineers. Game did threaten to get ugly, but they've given themselves the opportunity. Got them right back in the game through some good defense.
Yep.
And that's again flowed into some good offense for the Mountaineers.
Slam and Sam won't be happy with that.
No, maybe that's exactly why he's called the timeout now, just to stem the flow. And it was just, as Steve said, it was good intensity from the Nears. A great defence and push the envelope on the offensive end.
And I suppose Cam really has led that from the front too, taking his tally into double figures, hit a couple of shots, being aggressive, but some good input there too from the Yak and also Malat Macau off the bench too. And that's what they've been given all year. They did miss Malat Macau last week, I think, against the Force. Just having that sort of 6th man, 6th, 7th man coming in off the bench and being able to deliver what he's done week in, week out. So he's showing that he's a very integral part of the benched unit that we're seeing perform pretty well in this second quarter.
And a bit of a big body too, isn't it? You know, you need someone that can match it up down low. And then you've got Yak who likes to run the open floor, which he's done well here so far.
See Jordan Biggett check in for his first minutes of the game. Another guy who's probably had limited opportunities early in the season. Has got himself a chance, and he's grabbed it with both arms. Taking that as a moving screen on the backdoor cut there. Jacob Davis. Can't do that, buddy. Tackle one. It's a nice finish from Magnay, though, even though it didn't count.
Bigger coming in.
Hanging off that ring.
Bigger. Pushing the ball.
That's a bad pass.
It was a bad pass. Needs to just have that composure to be able to pull it out, set it up, and get a good entry into the offense, whether that be a nice little wing pass or, as Wilson again points to the heavens. Jacob Wilson, 12 points for the game, all from beyond the arc, nearly, apart from 2. And a couple of free throws. The yak.
That's a terrible pass.
Spinning around like a top. And Wilson again.
Foot on the line, was it? Yeah.
I'd say Wilson would be disappointed he didn't let that one fly down there. Had an open look from the base.
Ben Wilson for the Capitals. Nine. Yeah. Bigger. Wall.
Cresto Wall.
Straight body size.
Straight at the body of Magnay. Gets in. A little hook shot to finish.
Oh, yeah. Lucky. Wilson. From down.
Wilson's on tonight.
15 to Wilson.
So Wilson's
season average.
Yeah, really relishing this extra court time in the absence of Cadet. He's averaging 6.5 points a game, and he's already got 15 here in the first quarter and a half. So looks pretty chuffed too. Chest puffed up, bounding down the court.
Wilson.
He was 17 from 51 from the 3-point line. Coming into tonight's game, I think he's...
Davis attacking with the bump. We'll go with the Mountaineers off Ben Wilson. Last touch there. As Daniel Sims checks in for Abraham Yak. 10-point game leads to the Capitals. Bigger. Struggling with that little bit of extra attention he's getting up in the backcourt.
That's a very tough shot.
Bailed out too on the foul from Wilson.
That's, yeah.
If you're the Capitals coach, you're happy to give up those sort of looks down the court. If you make them, all credit to you. But he won't be happy with bailing him out with a foul at the end of that and sending him to the line to shoot 2.
Misses the first.
One from 2 from Sims on that occasion. Nice. Stoddart finds Wilson. Might want to step out back behind the arc there. The rim got a bit higher. Or
there's a mouse in the house.
Oh, I'd have that.
There from Cresto Wall. Grabbing the rebound.
Big 3.5 minutes coming up for the Nears. 9-point lead now. The Capitals.
Wall working.
It's been good finish. It's been good.
His size and strength really well in body position.
Back down the court. He has been very good in offense for the Mountaineers since he come in 3 or 4 games into the season. As Davis spits it out, can't bring that little boy ball into the big keyway of Jason Spurgeon.
Back to the bench.
Still picking the leather out of his teeth where he had that one squashed back in his face. Young Jacob Davis. Adam Kapikis checks in. Spurgeon's
been good too, yeah.
Has been. He's been that bit more concerted effort to be aggressive, both on the offensive and the defensive end. So Sims wheeling and dealing, dribble bigger. Good look at the three. Rattles in and out. There's ball.
There's ball back.
In and out move from Bigger. Here comes Ricardo Marsden. Give Millard a big round of applause. That was a great effort.
Ricardo Martin checks back in for McCouch.
Ricardo.
2 minutes 43. Cresto Wall from the top of the keyway. Elbow jumper's no good. Rebound pulled down by Magnay. Anderson wants a bit of space to operate. Fancies himself on that matchup. Off the dribble. Aaron Anderson.
First down. Jordan Bigger. Anderson.
Crosses him over there.
He does. He is fancying himself there at the moment, isn't he?
Too.
Blows by like a...
That's got a wall. She's second. Shots to Anderson.
Consummate ease. Don't know, there's some sort of tweeting coming from the cheap seats up the back there, trying to put Aaron Anderson off his game and the free throw line. Unsuccessful there. He's having...
They're into it again.
Oh, they got him that time. Great effort from the home crowd. Trying to help out their boys on the court. Great look from Sims.
That's good defence.
It was a good look, just a bit slow through the air.
Yeah.
But good defence too there from Kapikis to see that coming and being able to pick that one off. Cresto Wall a long way from home.
Isn't he?
Looking to...
do it at both ends. Oh, and
he steps through, banks it in. Big Cresto showing he can...
back it in.
He got the spin moves.
Wilson. He wanted that one, I think. And probably entitled to have it too, the way he's been going. A little heat checker.
Here he is.
Anderson, big half takes that.
That's nice.
Smart
great body position. Yeah.
Shot to come Anderson.
Just pulls up. Knew he had Bigger on his back. Commits the contact.
And Coach well done, Jordan Bigger. Give him a round of applause.
Another young fella, Jordan Bigger, who is off to Canada for a little stint in the collegiate system over there. So he'll be relishing the opportunity to come up with the more up against the more seasoned veterans of the QBL, like Aaron Anderson. So valuable experience for Bigger's career, which is just in the early stages. Aaron Anderson goes 2 for 2. 8-point lead to the Capitals. Minute 43 to play in the second quarter. Trying to up the ante on the defense this last 2 minutes as well. The Capitals, bit of full court pressure. Spurgeon just running straight into Kapikis on that one.
Time out, minute 39 left.
Not a bad quarter so far for the Nears.
They're competing.
Yeah, came
right
back
in
from,
it. Yeah.
what were they down at quarter time? 17 points.
Yeah, 32 to 15.
Back to 8. So, and obviously it's come from the defensive end.
Yeah.
How many points?
Yeah, well, being able to hold Brisbane to 11 points for the quarter. So that's what was needed. They were never going to be able to compete if they're going to let Brisbane score 100 plus points, 120 points. So it's exactly what the doctor ordered. Danny Breen would be happy that his troops were able to execute that and hold the Mountaineers, hold the Capitals to that lower after coming off a 32-point first quarter. And now we'll just be looking to get their offensive ticking over, which has been pretty good. 20 points, so a bit more productive quarter for the Mountaineers. And they really just need to settle into the game like it looks like they have and continue to sort of flow this on for this last minute 39, not let this blow out any more than the 8 points, and maybe pull this back a little bit. And then
they'd be happy going to the sheds at half time, single digits, wouldn't they?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, after what it was at quarter time. And where it could have gone from there, yeah, they'll be really happy with where it is at the moment.
So Capitals are operating through Anderson on the dribble penetration. Pass deflected. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Capitals. Magnay going upstairs.
He's going to the line now.
Good contest from Spurgeon on the initial effort, but Magnay stayed with it. The offensive rebound and fouled on the second attempt.
And shots to come. Mangay makes 15 points.
15 points, 4 rebounds for Magnay.
16,
Extended pressure, good. That's where they need to get the Mountaineers. They need to get that flash to the middle of that press to be able to extinguish that pressure. Martin.
Lovely hands in the rim.
Nice little floater. Yeah. Good elevation. Very supremely athletic, Ricardo Martin.
Oh, great steal. So it's go ball. Go ball.
Capitals ball, 2-3. Defensive.
Magnay. Too big, too strong, Magnay.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Magnay scores 2.
Just put him straight in the hurt locker there.
Time on the foul. Will.
Is it 3 for Spurgeon?
So at the moment, Steve, with the players in the Capital side, we got anyone that have got any NBL experience or playing NBL at the moment?
Well, Will Magnay's been in as a development player, or dare say would have picked up a bit of time on the court there, but the experience that he would have had underneath the guys like Cam Bairstow they've had there, so who's had NBA experience, so that would be invaluable for him. And just playing under the likes of Andre Lamanis, so the Boomers coach down there, Sam McKinnon, all those guys, CJ Bruton, the coaching staff down there.
Ranko
Paselovic.
That's a nice move.
Nice touch.
10-point game.
He's got the power game. He's also got a nice bit of touch about him as well.
Christo Wall can't handle the...
I see Sims has traded the Timberlands in tonight. He's gone for a different foot attire.
That or he's got the Nico out.
Yeah,
colour in.
No dancing tonight.
Steel caps on tonight. Oh, terrible pass.
Wilson.
Horrible pass.
Foul call on Ricardo Martin.
Ricardo Martin, good effort to get back and did commit the foul, but didn't give up the easy open court layup to Wilson on that occasion. 12.9. One look, you would hope for the Mountaineers in the second quarter.
13. No.
Wilson shooting his second short.
Didn't look good, did it?
No. Went down hard there.
Now, all of you people came in on Armstrong Auto Group positive choice clinic, just get ready for the draw.
Need to get rid of it here.
Sims with the step back, no good. That'll bring us to the conclusion of the first half.
That'll do us, Gus.
Visiting Brisbane Capitals do lead 51 to 40, an 11-point lead. After that first quarter, I'd say the Mountaineers won't be happy, but they'll be content with where they were able to get that back in that quarter, winning that second quarter. 25 to 19, so
could have easily gone the other way. Could have been a massive blowout if they didn't rein that in.
Exactly what Giles did. They'll be happy they're in the game still. Yeah, have potential to be half time and be blown out of the game. But no, still hanging in at the moment. Some good signs in that second quarter. Got to come out and produce that a little bit more in the third.
Cam Webber sat for a fair chunk of that part of that second quarter.
Yeah, he did. He was probably the leader that got him back in with those couple of threes, couple of good aggressive moves to the basket. So he sort of set the tempo that the Mountaineers needed to play at. And got him back in there. So no, that was good to see. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them to stay with Capitals, because I can't see Capitals taking their foot off the pedal. They're going to rotate through their players, keep pushing it. There's going to be threes going up, so it's going to be a great challenge for the Mountaineers to actually
Jacob Wilson and Magno have been big for them, haven't they?
Well, Wilson's been phenomenal, really, coming in, playing 17 minutes per game before this. Obviously, Jason Caddy's out, so he's really put his hand up, 15 points. Also some nice dishes, but their offense is good. They're getting what they want to do. They're penetrating. They're finding their shooters. Their shooters aren't afraid to get it up there, and they're dropping at a fairly good clip at the moment. So
Anderson controls it well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like the players that are actually thriving are from the structured environment at the moment.
And then we see, for the visitors, Will Magno does lead 21 points, 5 rebounds, 8 of 10 from the field. So that's a very economical half from Will Magno. He's well supported by, as we said, Jacob Wilson, 16 points, and Aaron Anderson at 12 points does round out. So they were looking at that. Those done the heavy lifting. There's only 2 points from Ben Wilson. Otherwise, it's those 3 that have done it. So maybe there's something the Mountaineers can look at. Do they double team? Do they send it? Do they get the ball out of those guys' hands, make somebody else put their hand up?
The problem they've got, though, is that Magno's that big body and, that, like you said, that class above any of the big boys we've got on our side. If they've got the ball in his hand, they double team, they look outside to Jacob Wilson, who's been banging down threes for fun.
Yeah, well, match up whether they look at a zone, whether they send a double to the post, who knows, but I'm sure Danny will have something that he wants to alter and implement into this second half. So we might take a break. We'll leave you with Johnny Gilson. I think we've got a shot. Half court $1,000 shot. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind a shot for $1,000. So we might go over to Johnny and see how our punter from the crowd has any luck.
Skyhawk, man, he's going to the hook, he's warming up, I can see it.
Down the middle straight, try and listen.
Johnny Jackie Moon Gilson.
I once wrestled the bag.
Goes the money shot. Oh no! He's gone for a step back jumper or something.
He's got a little bit more power than I thought he was going to get there.
Give him another one.
I'm going to give him just because he's good looking.
He was warming up with a hook, and he's opted for the traditional 2-foot jump shot, elevate, shoot. Missed by a mile. I can't help but think that was just a bad tactic from the punter from the crowd.
What would you run? Mate, what would you run? I know Steve, I've seen him bang him down from halfway. Bubs, what would you run there?
You've got to get him to the hoop. It's like putting in golf, mate. They can't go in if they don't go to the hoop, to the hole.
You go off the 1 foot.
Would you do the...
No, you go off the left with the...
Yeah.
Airport,
nothing but that.
And road in Papua New Guinea, right up in
a
Wouldn't mind seeing Big Kenny Glover step on down from Rose Ed and have a go.
Yeah.
Bang a few down from
sight to behold. So big thanks to our live stream sponsor tonight, who is Bendigo Bank, as well as our game sponsor Northbuild Constructions, who had a night out at the Local Master Builders Awards last night, picking up a couple of commercial awards. You had a night out too last night, Joel Stow.
I Jed, mate. Had a night out with you and the bride. It was a fair night too.
Yeah, well, I see you had a fair morning to follow.
Yeah, we were busy this morning, weren't we?
Yes.
Had semi-pros with the Racing Nation.
Old Charlie next door. I was sitting beside him with the semi-pros this morning. We all had our jumpers and stuff on. He
was quick to come off, mate.
And he had some sweat coming out of him, I tell you right now.
Yeah.
So yes, semi-pros this morning. Had a good chat with about the local Darling Downs Bush Bash Cricket League, which is just on the doorstep. So I can't believe summer's coming around, or spring's just about here. Cricketing season's transitioning as we wind down our winter codes. Some exciting ventures there, so it's good to chat to them. We'll do that in coming weeks. If you are interested, 7 o'clock till 8:30 every Saturday morning. Been going for 12 months now. I don't know how we haven't got the hook, but anyway, here we are.
I nearly got us the hook last week, but obviously Phil Curry smoothed it over for me today.
So brilliant. So I don't really know what we're doing here, but if we're going to have a break, we might have a bit of a rest, go out and give the vocals a bit of a massage.
Might go and jack a few shots up here.
Yeah, well, I've seen you play C-grade. It probably would help you. So we'll have a break.
We'll go to
come back. Give yourselves a few minutes once the teams get back out on the court. We'll get back into the second half. The Brisbane Capitals do lead 51-40 over the home team, the Toowoomba Mountaineers.
I'd like to thank you. The Bendigo Bank supplied a defib machine. I died playing golf. The defib machine saved my life. So thank you.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
surely. There you go. That's outstanding.
That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
Down here, anything's possible. A first degree, a second career, a way to advance. As the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland, the University of Southern Queensland has helped over 100,000 students become more from more places, on their own terms, in their own time, with 24/7 access and over 100 online degrees. Become more from more places with USQ.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Serena Men's Shed. You are supporting us, and we keep a lot of men out of hospital. Thank you very much for your support.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
Now for the University of Southern Queensland QBL Live Stream Series with the Clive Berghofer Toowoomba Mountaineers in action at the Cave. To call the game, please welcome the semi-pros.
The semi-pros. That's a lovely introduction there from the famous Toowoomba voice, Mr. Peter Ruckus. Just joined us half-time, giving some of his thoughts and
filling us in on a few bowl stories.
Yeah, I'm all better for that run.
Yeah, no, me too.
Well, Rucko.
Love a good Rucko yarn.
Trailblazer in the, I suppose, the sports media.
Yes.
I think he made up and downs in about 5 different sports.
But anyway, no, so thanks for Pete for dropping in. Always love chatting to Pete. What we've got here. Teams are just about to come back out on the court. The Capitals do lead 51-40 in a tale of two quarters, I suppose. The Capitals did dominate early on, leading 32-15 early on, had a 17-point
This is the big moments now for the Mountaineers, isn't it?
Yeah, this first 5 minutes, mate.
Mountaineers are able to pull that back, so 11 points. Did get it back to 6 at one stage, and it's all through their defence. So they're going to have to have another quarter where they can hold Capitals to something that's manageable and keep their offense flowing pretty well.
In and out.
Wilson.
What's that figure, Steve? It's probably going to be, they've got to keep them under. It's going to be under 20-point quarter, hasn't it? Really,
yeah, I think
a chance.
They really got to keep. Ideally, they'd want to keep Capitals around that 90-point game total.
Yep.
Give themselves an opportunity, because to them to score 25-25 to finish off this game, that's going to be tough in itself. So any more than that is probably going to be a tough ask. But one I'm sure they're equal to as well. They've showed that second quarter that they can match it with the Capitals, winning it 25-19, so getting 6 points there. So I think they just break it down. They just need to basically win this first 5 minutes, whether it's by 2, whether it's by 10, doesn't really matter. You just need to win that, go into that next one, break it down into small chunks, so you're playing small games, and try and just tick off those wins, getting towards the back end.
The old cliche,
game.
mate, eh?
1 week at a time, mate.
Exactly
1 minute,
right.
one possession
One
at a
play
time. Break it down.
13 points.
It's the old wood.
And it's 14.
No good. So, bit of extended pressure here.
Yeah, it worked well at the end of the last quarter, didn't it? The extended pressure.
Anderson pulls the early trigger in transition 3. Carter.
Got a few...
short again.
Got a few easy turnovers with that trap at the end of the last quarter. They're going to persist.
Gee, they've got to hang on to the ball.
It would help, wouldn't it, Joel? Always need that. The pill. Mismatch there.
Oh, revelation in the crowd, so different.
Carter and Martin put the innocent plea on there. It's Anderson.
He's had a couple of good looks to Anderson. That's been knocking him down at the start of this quarter.
Yeah, well, Caps have. So. Kicks out. Nice dish to Vasiljevic.
Nice.
That's what we want to see.
Great look from Sims. A great option that time down the
penetration.
court. Could have forced it at the rim with probably a hand in there. It wouldn't have been.
Oh, Spurs just got to probably pull that down. The bigger body.
Magna, yeah, he really needs to get inside and body him out, not just trying to out jump Magna. Magna is the bigger body.
Here comes the enforcer.
That's 4 fouls now for young Spurge.
His old muscles checks in. Will the Bill Mitchell.
23 points.
The battles of the Bills. Billy Mitchell, Billy Magnay.
Trappier.
Work well too.
Ricardo using his athleticism there. It's very athletic.
Lovely.
Good finish, Ricardo.
It's a nice play, that.
He has got some serious athletic ability, hasn't he?
Oh, he's got some jets and some leaps, yeah.
Nice
Good
pass.
Good defence. Cameron Webber, the wily old fox.
Nice pass too.
In the rebound.
That's good from Will. Following up.
Got that one right at the top of the arc there, Magno, but Mitchell
6 points.
stayed with the play, gets the putback. Ficus Magno gets a good look at the 3. Sinks that one. Got a nice looking jump shot for a big, I suppose the new age big.
Exactly,
it's not just get inside, it's Ricardo Martin. Yeah, the game's changed. You used to get the bigs you wanted in the post banging away now, but the game changing. Need to be able to shoot.
A bit of a chatty with Ricardo. I like it.
Weber. There's the old wily veteran move off the back. Carter, oblivious. Oh. Smaller Sims needs to be careful here, taking that technical foul earlier on. 4 seconds on the shot clock for the Mountaineers. Conjure up something.
Well done, Will.
Will, big aggressive Will.
Unconventional play, but big Will.
It works.
Good scoring game of pinball.
He's good.
Yeah, it's going to show a bit of emotion, a bit of intensity at the moment. It's what we want to see. It's what the crowd want to see. I want to see a bit of emotion out of the players.
Have a go at the camera work.
It's something that Will actually brings to the game is a bit of passion.
Didn't like that one off the hand. Called it left straight from the outset. And he was right. Anderson block. Going to give that on the continuation. A bit generous.
Very.
I don't think he's going to get 2 shots for that.
No, it's not going to continuation. 2 shots.
Close to that bonus.
Don't know how he gets 2 shots. Didn't he make the basket?
No, rolled out.
Oh, did it? There you go.
Wow. 15 points, Anderson.
What's manageable, Steve, going into the third quarter here? Well, what can Toowoomba manage to run down in that last quarter if they've got to?
Oh, they'll definitely want it to be single figures, I think. One for that, I suppose, psychological barrier that the double figures does present.
Yeah.
For both teams, so probably a comfort thing for the Capitals and just a larger hill to climb for the Mountaineers. But if you do want to climb a hill, I suppose you'd want to be a Mountaineer, well equipped to scale the rocky faces of a hill. That's terrible acting from Ricardo Martin. We might get a flop warning after that play on that, but anyway.
Sims pushing it out.
Great shot.
Oh, Willie Mitchell, the one-armed bandit. Hook. One-armed bandit.
The left arm hook, and then he got up with the right. Good body position from Will.
He's doing a good job in there, Will. On Will. Will on Will.
Magnay straight back at him here.
Oh, good help defence too, wasn't it?
Come across, did have a swipe at the ball. 2 shots. That's bonus or?
Get that man out here, he says.
I don't know how she's come up with that in the process of shooting, but we have.
Interesting.
Well, Magnay will go to the line where he's been good. 6 of 8 tonight, 75%.
Cameron Webber asking plenty of questions from the referee.
2 more for Magnay, so he's getting himself quite a tally now. Takes his total to 29 points for the game. As Cameron Webber checks out, that's his 4th personal foul, so he's going to...
Here we go.
Watch from the sideline for a little while as Abraham Yak comes back in. Zone look from the Capitals. He'll pass around and just ping up from the outside. So the key is, I think, to beating a zone is you have to earn the right to be able to ping up those threes. You just can't pass back and forward. Oh, Ricardo Martin, you could see that one coming a mile away.
Great defense.
Didn't miss it either, did he?
Swatted like a fly in the outback.
Let go.
Oh, back from Magnay. Great touch.
Good elevation. Athletic guy too for a big body.
Magnay. Like what I've seen from Magnay. And his touch, as you see, he's got a good jump shot.
Yeah, I did.
Reliable from the line.
He's
got a good touch.
He'll be one that we do see a lot more around the higher levels of the NBL.
Come on, folks. Let's get 2 points here.
So he'll have a contract for the next season, Steve, or?
I'm not too sure on his contract position, whether he'll sneak into that 9th or 10th spot on the roster, or if he does another year as a development player. But if he's not on the squad of 10, I don't think it'll be too far until we do see him in a spot. He definitely wouldn't be out of place as Ricardo Martin.
No flop that time.
No.
Wilson. Oh, did you like that? Yes. Here we go.
Capitals up by 13, 4.5 to go on the clock here. Big few minutes for the Nears. See what they can get this lead down to. Nice, Will, and that's out of here again from Magnay. He's not having any of that. Here we go. And he might be coming back for another dip here. That's goal tent.
Yeah, that one was clearly off the backboard that time. They ended up getting the basket regardless on the follow from Yak, but yes.
Plenty of intent there from the big Magnay on the defensive end though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Over the shoulder, waiting for it to come.
Does play both ends of the court, so two-way player. Wilson.
Nice.
3 points, 19 points to Wilson.
Jacob Wilson, 19 points for the game, so a great contribution. I think would be in Ranko's best interest to put those little keyway jumpers that he's had spat back out the last couple of occasions up at the moment.
Ranko is out. Nala is in. Give me a round of applause, Ranko. Great game.
See Malat on the couch, checks back in for Ranko Paselovic. Sims checking the shot clock. 3 steps
That's
back.
tough shot.
Rebound by Yak. Cow taking it into the heart of the defense, trying to force up a step back runner.
Anderson. No score.
Anderson takes contact. No score, but he will get the 2 bonus free throws. Team foul situation, 14-point game. Capitals have just stretched this lead a little bit. 2.5 to play, 2 minutes 55 to play rather.
Just comfortable at the moment.
They are.
Yeah.
They're settled into their work. They're going up and down, and I suppose trading baskets with the Mountaineers, which is good enough for the Capitals, but it won't be good enough for the Mountaineers to win this game. Simple maths will tell you that.
Correct.
He's been good from the line tonight, Aaron Anderson.
He's been a good all-round Anderson. So he's just controlled them well.
It's 9 for 11.
And the players around have been really good as well. As Steve said before, there's a few blokes who are getting some extra minutes tonight, and they're producing. They're good.
Yeah,
it's interesting to note they've still only had the 4 guys on the score sheet.
That's right.
The Capitals.
Yeah.
So, and one of them's Ben Wilson, who's got the 2 points. So Jacob Wilson, Aaron Anderson, and Will Magnay have scored 96.22% of Capitals points.
How much?
96.22.
Quick maths.
Simple maths.
He's simple, quick maths.
He's just a walking calculator, the big man, isn't he?
There we go. Kapikis gets his
first basket of the night.
What is it now?
It'll be at 94. Maybe down to 92.
The traps work well, hasn't it?
It has, but the main math we need to worry about is the 18-point lead that the Capitals do hold over the Mountaineers at the moment. Presto Walls got inside, rips through. Magnay, I think he might have been licking his lips there to try and get another block. Oh, Sims. The acrobatic move to the basket. No good. Magnay
the big man
sets the feet. Goes long there.
Fouls on Wilson.
Three fouls for Jacob Wilson, so he has a set.
Big 2 minutes, yep. 19-point lead. Ooh. Nice.
Good finish from Presto Wall there.
Yeah, he's finished well all night.
The ominous presence
down low.
Ominous presence of Magnay shadowing over. Again, another open look from Magnay. It's good from the top.
30 points. Will Magnay.
Impressive. Very impressive.
3 from 4, yeah, like 66% from the field from Magnay. Like, he's not the guy, and it's the way he's shot the ball tonight that you want to be leaving wide open be that in transition or in the half court. You've got to find him.
You don't want him in there either. That's not where you want him either.
Just a massive advantage when you've got your power boy inside.
Who can
nail it from three? It's just so hard to defend. And look at him down low now. Defense.
Like we're saying, on defense too, he's just an extra effort.
It's at 34 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks now for Magne. So
another one here.
And here he is with the dunk again.
What's that 36 points?
What's he got again? Sorry, mate.
Just blown out now. So that'll be 36 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks for Magne. And this is just
blown out.
Yeah, the crowd's been silenced out here. Clive Berghofer USQ Centre as they've stretched to 23 in the twinkling of an eye. Sims.
Biggest lead of the game.
Cow short on there. Another rebound from Magne. So they push
close to a triple-double then.
Anderson banks it off a triple. They did have one owed to them, I suppose, from Cam Webber earlier in the game.
And that is, we talk about these bursts that they've got to control, and that's just one there from the Capitals, and the Nears have had no answers at all.
Just taking tough shots like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at the shots that the Nears are taking now. Capitals are getting
wide open looks. Anderson's
a couple of
2 to play. So a 26-point lead. They only scored 19 points with the 2 minutes remaining in that, and they've ended up 29. So they're able to add 10 points in the last 2 minutes of that quarter, and they've just blown this wide apart. Nearly relinquished any grasp that the Mountaineers did still have on this game. It's going to take an almighty performance to get back into this one, but it's always looked that way too. The Capitals have been comfortable in what they've got down there. Magne's been dominant, but it's now about pride too for Mountaineers.
You're right.
26 points. You can't just roll over and let Capitals steamroll through for this final quarter. You've got to put a bit of pride on the line. There comes a time where you need to have a look at yourself.
Could end up 40. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Oh, it could go two ways. Yeah. It could go out to 40, or they could pull it back to something respectable. Unlikely they might get the win, but you bring it back to 15, 10 points. You consider that a win. You want to go into this final quarter, just basically reset the scores. I know it doesn't work like that, but you want to go in with the mindset of winning this quarter and getting something out of it as well. As we've always said, it is a process that Danny Breen has put in place, signed on for 3 years, so you want to be able to learn from these situations too. There's only so much you can do on the training court, and having that opportunity to implement it out on a game, there's no better time.
It's pride. Like, you got to have pride in your performance, and you got to have pride for your town. Like, you're playing for Toowoomba at the moment. You've got to give these people in the stands a bit of hope.
Something to come back for, a bit of excitement.
Something to look forward to.
Cam Webber checks back in, I see.
We know they're up against it, but yeah, as you said before, Steve, it can go two ways here. We want to see it, the ladder. We want to see, it be if it's a 15-point or a 10-point win. We want to see a winning quarter from the Nears. Show me the heart.
Here we go.
In this zone from the Capitals. Cresto Wall, tough assignment there, trying to score over the outstretched arm of Magne. Oh, not a bad little spin there, but dribbled off the foot of Ricardo Martin from Adam Kapikis. And one thing's for sure here, the Capitals aren't going to let up either, so they're not just going to let this one taper out. They're going to keep their foot on the accelerator.
Well, they've showed that by keeping Magne and Anderson out there.
Yeah, and not on top of the table for nothing, are they? The
good find from Anderson on the penetration.
Look at that hustle, getting rebounds in there.
Ben Wilson, on that occasion. Nice drop-off pass. Offensive foul, Cam Webber.
On the floor, old Cam. Hadn't seen it yet tonight.
With his feet planted.
Great defense, Webber. We had a winner for the 50-50, Benjamin Wilson. Well done, Ben. There's nothing in the family about that.
G up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ben Gilson winning the raffle, drawn out by John Gilson. There's no structure at the moment, is there? It's all one out stuff.
Steve, we can start to see the frustration on the men too, aren't we?
And Macau is, oh wow.
Things like that are happening.
Magnay's just having his way.
He's having an absolute day out, isn't he?
Well on his way to 50 there, so 38. You'd probably be backing him at this stage too, especially if the
don't stop the
defensive efforts of Mountaineers there was pretty lackluster.
Second foul. Third foul. Jason Spurgeon back in for Crystal Wall.
Bad pass again, Magnay.
Steve, you said right at the front of this broadcast about young Spurgeon coming up against the likes of Magnay. I tell you what, he's got an absolute lesson tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Like he's tried hard, and you can see just physically he probably gives up 20, 25, 30 kilos on Magnay. And being Spurgeon's third season of basketball, full stop too. So he's very new to the game, but he is getting a
good education.
I don't think
it's not
the only one's got a lesson tonight.
No, that's right.
And it's not just Magnay too. The Capitals have been all over the court, have been good.
Yeah.
Everyone knows their role. As they say, they've got their role to perform. Yeah, whoever pulls up and shoots down the triple. They've all got their role to perform, and they go out there and they do what they need to do. And that's what you expect of the top of the table teams in this competition. It's no lay down league. It's no happy-go-lucky league. You got to turn up. These are legitimate guys that are of the sort of NBL caliber.
Out of bounds.
Ricardo visibly frustrated here at the moment.
JJ Johnson, let's give a round of applause.
Magnay checks out and big Zach Carter checks back in.
Probably think that's curtains for Magnay.
You'd really think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you might as well head for an early shower, I thought.
Good bit of work performed by him tonight. It's 38 and 15 currently. Zach Carter will get his opportunity to showcase what he can do. 7 minutes to play out here at the USQ Clive Berghofer Stadium. The Brisbane Capitals well in control of the ball game out here. The ladder leaguing.
Nice dish and finish inside.
Oh, yeah, try and say that anyway. Carter worries Weber out of the points. Joe Johnson, Bill lazy defense there. Hanging the arm out, collecting Anderson on his way through to the hoop.
Number 10, Timothy Song.
The Capitals slamming Sammy McKinnon, happy to empty the benches here. So Timothy Song checks in for Aaron Anderson. It's a pat on the back from his fellow benches. Carter gets an open look.
Can't get a rebound here at the moment.
Out of bounds.
So yeah, you'd like to see the Mountaineers get a couple good offensive sets here, and it's probably not what you want to see. Carter trailing through the key. Bumped by Spurgeon. And
how many's that on Spurgeon? Has he gone?
That's him. That's his night done. That'll be his 5th personal foul. She'll see him.
No one's getting up off the bench.
So they were quick on the trigger. They do a fantastic job, our score bench here.
Oh, Gale. It's quick, mate.
Gale, yeah. Sally Ebnetter and all the team over there do a fantastic job, not only tonight but throughout the week, putting their time into our local competitions as well.
Good rebound. Not so good handles.
It's Ben Wilson.
The Euro step.
Hard viewing here, the last quarter at the moment.
Certainly is.
Yeah. Stretched out to, I'm going to have to get a calculator here.
Oh, you worked it out one, mate.
I'm waiting for the percentages here.
35 points.
Could have been a foul there.
35 and counting for the Mountaineers. Get these shoes off. Someone else will have to get their shoes off too. Carter for 3 from the top.
Oh.
Let's go. So this is
the heart there, isn't it?
Yeah, we speak of the pride is what you want to see, and I don't know.
Look at this effort from the Capitals, though.
Yeah,
they're up by 40 odd, or whatever it may be.
Oh, they smell blood, and they're killers.
They're still double teaming. They're hard in the paint.
Look at the D there. Yeah,
committed, isn't it?
It is, and this is all
talking too before in the ladies' game too, isn't it? Like when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not.
Exactly, and this is from a team missing their superstar too in Jason Cadee, so it's been an impressive performance from the Capitals, and we've still got 4 minutes 51. I'd say the risk of getting ugly is just, it's not a risk anymore, it is ugly.
It's ugly.
At the moment, so Danny Breen wasn't real happy with what he sees. He's called a timeout, trying to get something out of this last 4 minutes 51 from the troops.
What would Denny's word be over there now, mate?
I'd say it's just exactly what we said. It's all about pride. If you, it's not a right to wear a jersey for any team in the QBL, and every time you put that on and step out, like if you're not out there to compete, then you basically shouldn't be out there. So he'll want the guys to come out and compete for this last 4 minutes 51 and give a good account of themselves, really.
What needs to change, mate? What are we looking at here?
Oh, lots of things need to change at the moment. And basically, it comes down to effort at the moment, and the crowd will want to see that. I know there's some pretty disappointed faces looking up into the crowd, but again, there's some opportunities for some guys. Joey Johnson get an opportunity on there, and I think he'd be pretty ruthless here too. So if he sees something he doesn't like out on the court, someone's not putting in that effort, I'd say they'd be pretty quick to get the hook and get somebody out there who's going to get out and put in.
That hook you're talking about there, does that carry on to the following week, to the following couple of weeks? Like, do you make an example? Like, we've all played in sports where when there's no effort there, you've got to make changes. What do you do? I know it's hard sometimes, but sometimes you've got to make some big calls.
Wilson.
You speak of effort there, Steve. That was a great contest from Malat Macau.
Yeah, it didn't go off the easy basket. Well, it all comes down to what happens when you make those rotations. If you got a young fellow who comes on and puts his hand up and does well, then obviously that gets rewarded, especially as we've got a technical foul on somebody here as well. I think that might have called
It was on Malat. Was it Malat?
Could be. Just see him check out. Jordan Bigger checks in. Yeah, and you want to see young guys put in. And obviously the Mountaineers, one win for the season. It's done and dusted. There's no hope of playing finals from there. So it's an opportunity for the young guys to put their hands up. You get 3 minutes. You go out there and you bust your butthole for 3 minutes, and then the next time you might get 5, and you sort of work your way up through the rotation like that. So Wilson was short.
Misses all 3.
The rebound.
Cameron Webber.
And again, there's a loose ball going around. Two Mountaineers sort of stood and watched, and Davis was happy to take that one and go coast to coast and finish where there was the opportunity for someone to dive on that ball and retain possession. Not a tough pass. They're up in the lanes, but they are relentless, Capitals, and you can see why they are the number one team in the competition. Now have a 40-point ascendancy on the Mountaineers. Song gets it up, and they're away to the races. Carter's called for the travel there. They're out pushing in transition, still beating the Mountaineers down the court.
Yeah, intensity's been great all night, hasn't it? Just haven't. It's the look of a team that can win a title, isn't it? Oh, don't take the foot off the gas. That's
for sure. They.
That was my next question, Steve. Obviously, like you mentioned, Jason Cadee out. Where's this Capitals team? Are they obviously the benchmark? Top of the table, but can you see them winning the QBL?
Yeah, for sure. They're up there. They're obviously going to be in the mix. There's a few teams with some great rosters in there. It's a fantastic competition, especially up that pointy end of the ladder. But Capitals are going to be right there throwing their hat in the ring when it comes to
who do you think
winning the championship.
Who do you think will be thereabouts with them?
Oh, you've got Capitals, you've got Mackay, all your traditional, your northern teams are fairly strong. Townsville who actually beat the Capitals up there last weekend, so they're all going to be there. Your Rockies, Mackay, Townsville, Cairns, and then you throw in Brisbane. Brisbane are clearly the pick of the South Queensland teams, so down here. So once it gets to those playoffs, I dare say they'll have a bit of support from...
And all the stars would be available for playoffs.
Yeah, even the guys. Like a lot of the NBL programs have kicked off now.
Yep.
They're with their pre-season trainings, but they're very well. They have traditionally been very good with releasing guys that have committed to these QBL teams to letting them play through if they do get through the finals. So it's not a wasted season for a team that to get right through and then lose a couple of guns come playoff time. So. I think these guys, so like a guy like Cadee is a borderline starter. They do realise the benefit that their players do get playing in a program like the Capitals in the off season of the NBL.
So Cadee's role this year in the NBL, he'd be close to a starter. It'd be probably what?
It'll be interesting. The Bullets are going to be an exciting team.
Yeah.
Sobe recruited this year, so they've got a pretty good guard-heavy team.
Yeah.
With the guy from Cairns who come down last season as well. So Boomers. So they've got a really good core of local, when I say local, Australian guards.
Yeah.
So they'll be exciting to watch. Actually, I can't wait for the NBL as a whole is going to be an exciting competition.
Exciting last year, wasn't it? It's just going to go to another level.
Yeah, with the recruits that we're seeing, the RG Hampton, old Joel's boy up the end there, LaMelo Ball coming over. You would have donning the Wollongong or the Illawarra jersey.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
No, thank you.
The big baller brand, I see you sporting them. I thought you would have got a pair of them for the Saints C-grade.
Mate, if I was a prominent builder like yourself with a fair wage coming through, I would consider it, mate. They're about $1,000 a pair.
What do you do?
I'm just a knockabout bloke, mate, doing his best.
How much are they?
They're dearer than Jordans anyway. About 500 and something, nearly $600, I think.
Yes.
Off in the ocean for a highly touted solicitor like yourself, lawyer.
Backdoor cut. Just too easy, isn't it?
It is. There we have
easy.
43-point lead.
We've had no answer for this trap.
No, the pressure's gone on. There's just a bit stagnant as Yak looks for a consolation bomb from the top.
You reckon Denny Breen would have much of that rug left on top? Pulled a fair bit out tonight, I reckon.
Yes. Well, what was we were at an 11-point game at the half.
Yeah.
So
we were 6 in the second quarter, weren't we?
Well, only 5 points to the tally of the Mountaineers in this quarter. So
that's abysmal. And what about the Capitals? What are they?
Well, they've put together a pretty consistent game. So 32, 19, 29, 22 and counting here in the fourth. So 50 seconds are on the countdown to the finish, and another wide open basket underneath. Timothy Sung, the beneficiary of a nice pass there from Nicholas Stoddart. Stripped by Davis. Stripped by Paselovic.
Great defense, Franco.
Tough take from Yak there. So we count down 17.1 seconds. I think the Mountaineers will be happy to
tough
ride
night at the
out.
office.
It has. We did say at the start it is going to be a bit of a measuring stick for them. They'll be able to see where they do sit with the benchmark of the competition, and I think this has been a fairly decent
flogging.
Yes, old-fashioned shellacking. Slap in the face to the Mountaineers from the Brisbane Capitals, and they've run out very convincing winners, 47-point winners at the end there, so they've really dominated the second half on what was a brilliant performance all round both ends of the court from Will Magnay. He's finished with 38 points, 15 rebounds, 6 blocks, 4 steals, and I don't know, what did he bring?
That's a big game, isn't it?
How many blocks? 6 blocks, was it?
6 blocks, so he's had a cracking game, Will Magnay. Shooting at 14-19 from the field, 73%, 3 or 4 from long range. So as far as well-rounded games, they don't probably get too much better than that from Magnay. Dominate. He was well assisted for Jacob Wilson, obviously relishing the extra minutes that he got in the game. He finished with 19 points, and Aaron Anderson had a nice 27 points there, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. So a couple of tidy performances there for the Capitals. I think they'd be pretty happy with what they did. They come up here and they were fairly clinical. Would have wanted to come up and a game against the bottom of the ladder. Sometimes you can slip down to the level of what the opposition you're playing, but they certainly didn't. They kept the bar where they needed to be, played what they wanted to play all day, and got there.
We spoke about this being a process for the Mountaineers. You know, in patches they looked good, didn't they? Had their moments.
Let's be honest, Joel. Very small patches, I'd say.
Yeah, very small patches. And mate, all that second quarter, they won the second quarter.
Yeah, that was
they
good.
did to do well to pull it back when it threatened to get out of hand right from the outset. And thank God they did pull that back, because it could have been absolutely anything if it wasn't. And for the Mountaineers, Cam Webber did lead the way. 13 points he finished with that. Had that in that clump in the second quarter, so that's where they did that. After that, they sort of went by the wayside. 14 points, so a 19-point half for the Mountaineers. And I think, I don't know if it's doing the MVP, but Johnny Gouldson. We might just cross quickly to Johnny Gouldson.
Sorry to hold you up, folks.
What he's got.
Over here, boys. Last one here misses out. Boys, over here now. You can get a photo in a minute. They'll be behind the girls. Righto, this is the Coaches Awards for the 3-2-1. For 1 point, Cresto Wall. Where are you, Cresto? Come forward. Come forward. Don't be shy. 2 points, Will Mitchell. And the 3 points for the MVP, Cameron Webber. Well done, Cameron. What do you reckon? First half, all right?
Yeah, we played all right in that first half. We hustled well, but it doesn't matter if the end of the game is like that.
Yeah, they played well, though. We got to give it to them. That big fella, how many points he scored? 37 points. Mangay.
There's a reason why they're the number one team in the competition, and they showed it tonight.
That's good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hand it together for the team. Well done, boys. Thank you, cheer girls. Thank you for supporting the Mountaineers. See you next week.
Well, at least one thing you say is Cam didn't sugarcoat it there. Like,
no,
you can't be happy with that performance. And Johnny was probably trying to sugarcoat a bit, but I'll take my hat off to Cam. He didn't sugarcoat it. He wasn't happy with the performance.
Yeah, exactly. You said it there. You can't, no matter what you do in the first half, it all amounts to nothing really when you basically torn a new one.
It's embarrassing.
That's a good old pull your pants down. That's what that is. Yeah.
Shellacking, they've come in here.
We've said it. I don't know how many times, but they're missing their best player.
Yeah, could they?
You throw him in there. What?
I tell you what.
They're a mile off
it did tonight, but like with him being away, with Kadee being away, you see Magnay, he saw it as his opportunity to be the man tonight. He
Jacob
stepped
Wilson
up, mate. Yeah,
Jacob Wilson was good.
Yeah, Jacob Wilson was good, but yeah, Magnay he became that main player tonight, didn't he?
And grabbed it with both hands, took the opportunity, and did dominate a Mountaineers outfit up here. As we said, finished with 38 points, 15 rebounds, absolutely carved it up. And I think you'll be seeing bigger and better things for Will Magnay in the future. Couple of weeks to go for the Mountaineers.
What, we got 2 home games left?
Yeah, 2 home games. So we're back next Sunday against the South West Metro Pirates. What do you do now? What do you do from here? Say you put your coach's hat on. Do you go in and do you tear strips off the team, or how do you address it?
It depends if they've been torn already. Like if you've already torn them a couple of times this year,
it's not working.
You can't keep going back to the well,
banging your head against the brick
you're
wall.
Exactly right, mate. Because it won't mean anything. I like the option of going with a few different looks. Look, you're going with the same 5 pretty much every week. Let's shake things up a bit. Give one of these.
What about some of these boys players from the SBL? Is there someone in there that's banging the door down, putting their hand up for a go?
I think there's a few guys sitting on the bench there. You got you guys like your Jordan Biggers, who performs pretty well in there, dominating the SBL. So maybe, they get their opportunity to play a few more minutes. But plenty of decisions to be made.
What would you do? You're an ex-player of the Nears. What would you do if you were coaching this team, Stephen?
Yeah, I don't know. It comes back to trying to instill a bit of passion in the team, and that's
you can't do that in a week.
Oh no, you can do things on the court to make sure and you give the opportunities to guys that are going to show that value in the jersey too. So if someone sort of, don't know how the team cohesion is, but plenty of things. I know I heard Trevor Grieve is barking out a few orders over there at the moment, so he definitely wouldn't be happy with that. The crowd,
we all know what Trev's like, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, mate.
Most capped player. But anyway, on to next week. We are back on Sunday afternoon against the Southwest Metro Pirates. Women at 12, the men are at 2. So join in with the live stream. We will be here, and if you want to tune into the semi-pros, we're on Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. Join us on Facebook, throw a bit of chat, see what's happening, talk all things sport. But thanks for joining us, boys. Good debut, Joel.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks
you
for
might
having
not
me.
get welcome back after a 50-point shellacking.
No, that might be it for me, is it?
Yeah. But no, hope you've enjoyed your night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. So, au revoir.
Cheers, guys.
Over and out.
Bendigo Bank supplied a defib machine. I died playing golf. The defib machine saved my life. So thank you.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.
Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the semi-pros. The semi-pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
Down here, anything's possible. A first degree, a second career, a way to advance. As the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland, the University of Southern Queensland has helped over 100,000 students become more from more places. on their own terms, in their own time. With 24/7 access and over 100 online degrees. Become more from more places with USQ.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the Serena Men's Shed. You are supporting us, and we keep a lot of men out of hospital. Thank you very much for your support.
See the change your banking can make. Bendigo Bank. Be the change.